What's up, guys? Welcome. We're getting ready to hop into our second day. It seems like we're having a few gremlins along the way. We're going to try and sort it out, try and get back into everything to ensure that we are smoothly running with the whole show, as we are going to be stepping into our second day of action to see exactly what our teams are going to be bringing out onto that battlefield. So in the meanwhile, we're going to sit here and talk a little bit until we get everything up and running exactly the way it is supposed to be. But it does seem like things started to pop back in now, so we are going to be speeding that back up. As you can hear the music in the background. So we are going to be pushing that back onto the screen pretty soon. We are going to be looking at a few stats, of course, as we know. This is day 2, and day 2 means it is going to be the Miramar day, so we are going to be having a more focused day on that front coming through. So let's see exactly where our teams are going to be ending up, as we are going to be jumping in to all the stats that we need to see. Of course, as we know, yesterday the players there coming through from the side of Blackhand had an absolutely phenomenal run with their winner chicken dinner, finishing the day off with a very steady amount of points coming through. Of course, locking in 40 total points. So curious to see how that is going to translate moving into today. Of course, today, as I've said already, going to be the Miramar heavy day. So there's going to be a lot to see, especially moving into Miramar. As we know, there's a few strong performers that we've seen step up to the plate. Right, so with regards to those Miramar performances, it is definitely Blackhand being the top place team there with 26 points that they've been able to secure so far. Followed very closely then by RUKH and XENON that are going to be closing in that second and third place. So the heat's going to be on, right? Especially seeing that we will have 3 Miramars playing out here today. I'm curious to see how these teams are going to compete, how they're going to step up, and exactly where those points are going to go. But of course, speaking of which, let's take a look. Just to remind our viewers as to what the format is here. As you can see, of course, we are taking a look at 3 weeks of play, 3 phases, to see exactly what these teams are going to be cooking up for us as they push on through. At the end, once we get to the end of phase number 3, only the top 16 teams rather, are going to be making it through right into those finals. So there's going to be quite a bit of heat, quite a bit of pressure coming through to see exactly who those top 16 will be. But of course, as we know, at the end of the phase, that is also then when our top 12 teams have the opportunity to step over into a little bit of that LVK action to show us what they can bring on through. But there's going to be one way that will help to get the team secured into that. That is, of course, by utilizing our bonus points that we've got here as well, or rather our match points, right? So placing in first position is going to be worth a lovely 10 points. Then finding yourself between 7th and 8th also then awards you 1, and finishing anywhere between 9th and 16th position is going to result in no placement points, but the team's still in the position where they can look to capitalize on those eliminations. Now, as they get to the end of the bonus, or at the end of the phase rather, it is going to be that opportunity for the bonus points then to come on through. As you can see, that 1 point being distributed, well, that is still the bonus points. Why did it change up? Never mind. Thought it changed into a different graphic. In fact, it did. Right, so let's try that one again as we are going to be taking now a look at the bonus points. Here we go. Right, so the team who finishes at the top of the board at the end of this phase is going to be awarded 20 bonus points. And then, of course, the team that places in 20th are going to be awarded 1. And you can see the breakdown, the flow of the rest of the points making its way on through. So last season, the highest bonus points that we saw accumulated came through from the side of Titan Gaming, Falcons White this season, right? Last season, they ended on 79 total points after all 3 phases, stepping into those finals with a very, very high tally to start off with. So I'm curious to see whether or not we're going to have a repeat of that. But of course, the teams are also playing for their share of the prize pool, which is going to be $60,000. Now, within the league stage, all 20 teams get exactly the same share of the prize pool. But it's once they get into finals, where that is going to be a little worth a little bit more, rather. You know, first place being worth $5,500 on top of the $1,300 that they've already made. Then, of course, we've got our MVP award there, also worth $1,000, and I believe also then our top winner chicken dinners, right? The team with the most chickens are going to be locked in on an additional $1,000 as well. So there is going to be a lot to play for our teams here. So a lot at stake. And as we know also, once we get to the end, that is where we are going to be taking a look to see who will be our top 6 teams to qualify to move through into that MEA Championship. But another thing that they're also going to be fighting for is their slot, that invite, right, to PMGC. Now, based on the current points that we have, the players coming through from Falcons White, they are looking exceptionally good, sitting on a grand total of 785 points, followed very closely then by 77K, who are sitting on 756. So currently there's a 29-point gap between first and second, at least with regards to that PMGC slot. So the teams are really going to have to grind their butts off. But as we know, that is what it is. As to Mike asking why it's not written in English, because we are utilizing the feed coming through from the Arabia side as well, right? We just don't have the caster's audio coming through. We've got everything else in between. So that's why you see it written here in the lovely Arabic. Of course, speaking about our teams, if we start over on the left-hand side, that is going to be Group A. Then we've got Group B, C, D, and E. So stepping into our first matches here of the day, Group E, they are going to be sitting it out. But they'll be rejoining us in match number 2. So this is our breakup that we've got, at least for this phase. Moving into the second phase, of course, we are going to be changing up the group order to place the teams in different spots to see exactly how they're going to be faring. And of course, well, to give everyone a fair chance, right? So they don't consistently go up against exactly the same teams. So they do have a bit of an opportunity to taste the different flavors all around that map. But of course, if you are here to support one specific team, give me a shout out in the chat. We are live on Facebook and YouTube. So I'd love to see who you are here to support. So give those shout outs all over the place and let's see which teams are going to be receiving the most love. Of course, I'd also love to hear what your predictions are, right? Who do you think is going to be the team to clutch it out for this phase? Who do you think is going to be the team to sit at the top of the leaderboard? Of course, that is the question that we have coming through. That was on the title, that was on the thumbnail, and that is the question that I pose to you, right? Give your predictions, give your predictions, your potential outcomes to that as to who you think is going to be the team to clutch it out. Love to hear what your thoughts are. Now, of course, for today, as I mentioned, it's going to be Miramar Day. So game 1, 3, and 5, we are going to be heading into that. Right, so there is going to be quite a bit to play as we add in a little bit of Sanhok and Miramar in between to give the teams, or Erangel rather, to give the teams a bit of an opportunity to flex those legs, to show us what they can bring. And of course, well, really harden their skills when it comes to the lovely desert map. So we got a prediction coming through for RUKH Esports that are going to be the top at the end of the day. All right, so that is the day prediction. We've not yet seen a phase 1. I did see one coming through from one Pacific team. So not a Pacific team, right? It's a white cast net. Essentially anyone could do it, but it's got to be one of those, right? One of the 20 teams are going to be the ones to claim that. Now, if we look back at what we've had, right, happened just yesterday in our very first day of the action, of course, we did see Blackhand coming through with a glorious 40 points to 39 points, then going over to the side there of GREEDYFORKILLS. Virtual Gaming Squad also then just busting up the bank there with 33 points alongside RUKH Esports. But RUKH Esports actually locking in the most eliminations yesterday for the team, sitting on 25. The Blue Zone yesterday actually had 31 eliminations. So technically, the Blue Zone has been leading with regards to that aggression. We've got the vein of Blackhand saying that Blackhand are going to be on top at the end of the day. Ooh. Now, we're also curious to see exactly what FALCONS White are going to be bringing on through. As we know, they brought in quite a bit of a dominating performance in the previous season, finding themselves at the very tippity top of that leaderboard with 636 total points just for League. So very, very impressive play as we take a look at the rest of the teams. XENON last season also at the end of League, they finished all the way up in 6th place. So there's already quite a bit of an opportunity that these teams could look to play through, as they are going to be having to really grind it out as best they can to ensure that they need to get to those slots, right? We want to see that same kind of consistency to come through. Yes, Hollywood, we are going to be waiting for the start, but before that, we are going to be taking a look at our final 4 teams. It is going to be Smash Team, Superpower, Mo Esports, as well as Castle Black. So particularly looking at the teams here, today I want to see a little bit more come through from Castle Black, right? I want to see them bust a few moves, pop a few of those elims to see exactly where they're going to be able to get themselves and whether or not they're going to be climbing it up, right? Yesterday, the standard was set. We did see GREEDYFORKILLS, of course, also securing themselves 2 winner chicken dinners. They got the first chicken on Sanhok. They got the last chicken on Erangel. So there is going to be a lot of pressure coming through to see if they can maintain that consistency moving through a Miramar heavy day. Now, yesterday, we've only had 2 teams, 2 different teams, fortunately, taking those winner chicken dinners when it came to Miramar. Of course, the third team that stepped up was the players from PLUSEIGHTEEN, doing so with 3 eliminations alongside that winner chicken dinner. Match number 4, our second Miramar, the last Miramar of the day, that was the opportunity then for Blackhand to have their go at getting in that winner chicken dinner, but they did it in beautiful fashion. 16 eliminations, the fattest chicken that we've seen. Of course, only there's been 1 day, so there's not going to be lots to compare that to. But, well, with today being a Miramar heavy day, that is exactly the opportunity for a team like Blackhand now to step up and flourish. Speaking about teams, of course, we are going to be looking at a bit of a comparison here between the players coming through then from RUKH Esports as well as Virtual Gaming Squad, seeing their total eliminations that they brought in collectively. Trying to get a good assessment as to what we could be seeing pushing through the progression here today. Of course, now these are 2 of our top performing teams, right? The other team also then sat on 24 is going to be the side of Blackhand, but the next contenders up is going to be right here. Virtual Gaming and RUKH Esports holding on to that 3rd and 4th place. And what was very impressive about them, especially looking at that last match yesterday, both these teams were able to jump 9 slots in 1 match. 9 slots. All the way up from way down where they were. I believe that was like in the 12th and 13th place. getting just their butts lit on fire, flying all the way up into that third and fourth place. A very, very exciting one. But of course, one of the teams that we are going to be looking at here as well is going to be none other than Black Hand. Now, giving them a bit of a comparison here versus GREEDYFORKILLS, who were locking in the most consistent placement points yesterday. As we know, a grand total of 24. So that is going to be the score to beat. But as you can see then, Black Hand with 24 eliminations, and did allow them to get nice and aggressive with 47-57. So that is going to be quite the score to beat. But that almost puts them on very close to 50 eliminations worth of damage that they were able to deal just yesterday. So that, again, sets the bar quite high for them. It is going to be a little bit of a tough one, especially looking at the lobby, to try and replicate those efforts every single day. But knowing Black Hand, that is very well exactly what we could be seeing come through from their side, right? A very strong attempt to maintain that consistency, to maintain that focus. So, yeah, great chance here for the teams really to get down to business. Again, our strong performance from last season still holding pretty good. We want to see them take that extra little bit of a push. Of course, we see a few people now joining us in the chat. So, wassalamu alaikum. Welcome. We're getting ready for our very first match here of the day. And of course, as we know, it is going to be none other than Miramar. We are going to be looking at a quick little bit of something here. So, let's take a look.
مرحبا بهيبو من تيم الجي 4 كي، ان شاء الله تكون مبسوط معانا اليوم في المقابله بخصوص بي ام بي ال افريكا.
اهلا بك ستارفول، واكيد بوجودك راح تكون مقابله حلوه.
حبيبي يا هيمو احكي لنا عن تحضيراتك انت والفريق للموسم القادم للبي ام بي ال، وهل تم تحديد الروستر الاساسي ولا لسه؟
والله حاليا احنا تقريبا جاهزين للبي ام بي ال، وخاصه انه تدربنا في البي ام ار سي. البطوله كانت انه تدريب لكل التيمات الافريقيه، والروستر الاساسي حاليا يعني مو جاهز، لانه احنا ما عندنا لاعب انه راح يكون اساسي. اللي يقدم هو راح اللي يلعب واللي يقدم هو اللي راح يكون اساسي.
حلو كتير. طب حاليا انت فريقك اغلبه تقريبا او كانش كلهم هيكونوا مشاركين في بطوله اوفلاين في رومانيا في نفس ايام البي ام بي ال، فهل تفتكر يعني فكره التعارض هيشكل عليهم يعني ارهاق او تعب انه بيلعبوا بطولتين كبيرتين في نفس الوقت؟
هو بصراحه ما راح يكون يعني يكون ارهاق بس بسيط، لانه احنا طموحنا انه نريد نتاهل للبطولات القادمه، فانه اتوقع ما راح يسبب لنا اي مشكله، انه احنا جاهزين وبكل الطاقه راح نقدم اللي عندنا ان شاء الله.
ان شاء الله خير. طب احكي لي كيف ترفعوا روحكم المعنويه من البعض لما يكون حد شويه ممكن متضايق او زعلان بسبب ادائه في البطوله او في مباراه واحده، كيف ترفعوا روح المعنويه لبعض؟
هو بصراحه احنا يعني بعد انه مثلا ورا بعد كل توسون انه احنا واحد تلقائيا يعزز الثاني، خلاص انه الجيم الثاني نعوض كذا وكذا، لانه هو اصلا البوبجي دافع نفسي، انه لما يكون اللاعب نفسيته مو حلوه ما راح يقدر يقدم، فاحنا نحاول انه دائما بيناتنا ديشه الهاب توكسين انه نعزز معنويات بعض.
There we go. So unfortunately for my end, there's going to be no translation. I mean, well, I can give you a translation, right? So GREEDYFORKILLS was asked, what are you going to do moving into this PMPL? They said, we're going to kick butt, take names, and leave no prisoners, right? And that is what they're going to be looking to bring through. That is not a direct quote. Don't take my word for it, but if that wasn't what it was, I mean, let's believe that is exactly what it was. But yeah, looking forward to the matches here today, as Greedy already sit with those two winner chicken dinners to their name. So they've definitely been greedy with regards to placements, not necessarily as greedy when it comes to eliminations, as they were only able to find themselves 15 eliminations across the games yesterday. So curious to see what these teams are going to be bringing to the battlefield. But of course, if you've got any thoughts, any predictions, anything that you want to share, game related, right? Be sure to let me know in the chat. In the meanwhile, we are going to be prepping ourselves to head right into our very first match here of the day. So we should be making our way into that very soon to see exactly what our teams are going to be bringing through. So if you want to make a prediction as to where you think the zone, the flight path is going to be going, be sure to let us know. In the meanwhile, you can also hit us up on social media. So you can head on to YouTube, Facebook, as well as TikTok. So you are either watching on YouTube or you are watching on Facebook. If you've not yet commented on the other side, be sure to do so and include the hashtag there as well. Hashtag PMPL Africa, as we are getting ourselves right up to the edge We can feel the engines now starting to tremble, right? These players are getting ready to launch themselves, to get themselves right into our very first match. So if you got any thoughts, Mushkelino, thank you so much, but I can't just yet because we are going to be waiting for the match to start. But thank you for your message, though. It is appreciated. And thank you for being here. In the meanwhile, let's see exactly what this will have for us. I mean, getting a bit of a comparison to what we had in the previous season coming through from our Miramars, right? To get a bit of an idea as to how these teams could be performing, we can also then take a bit of a look at their PMGC slots as well as we move on through, right? Vampires coming through on 105 points, starting all the way at the bottom of the board. Then, of course, as we move our way up, we do find Jack Digger right there up in 13th position. Sat on a very comfortable 2-1-2. Mushkalito, either which way. Thank you for being here, right? Whether you're being serious, whether you're being not. It's all good, it's all good, it's all good. Speaking about all good, look at these points, though. 565 going through to the side of World of Battle. I mean, they started off with a glorious 543, but if we look at the top of the board, remember those points that you can see for the spring section, right? That is inclusive of their final points and how they performed within the league stage. So 785, that is going to be the score to chase. So 77k, they have a little bit of work cut out for them. I mean, 29 points, not the biggest gap. But RUKH Esports, Black Hand, I mean, they are still in a position where they could really look to contend. But knowing FALCONS White, they are not going to let it slide for free, right? They are going to be looking to make it exceptionally difficult. But we got Mr. Crowns joining us in the chat as well. So we've seen a lot of messages come through on YouTube. I mean, we've got quite a few people watching us on Facebook as well. So whichever platform you're watching on, be sure to hit us up in the chat, right? Give your predictions, give a shout out, show some love for your team. Tell us who you are here to support. In the meanwhile, we'll be on top after the fall ends. That is the prediction coming through from Vein of Black Hand. All right, so which vein are you? Oh, so you're a vein, not an artery, so I guess it's fine, right? As we are going to be approaching. So now we're essentially just waiting to see exactly what that map is going to bring on through, what the flight path and zone is going to be bringing in. Yesterday we had a nice, decent start coming through, not a super aggressive shift when we head into our first Miramar. So I'm curious to see whether or not that is going to be the trend coming through here today. Are we going to have a nice bit of a shift, nice bit of a play? Or is that zone going to be out to get these teams, right? Looking to make it so exceptionally challenging for them. But yes, Vayne, that is why I'm here, right? To play with names. Maybe be a little vain myself. But you know what it is, what it is. I know I've said that many times. Not the vain part, but there is what it is. But so it does seem like we are going to be loading up that map. As you can see, we've got a few eager Ravicasters on the opposite end as well. They're getting themselves ready. Look at them. It's going to be Shalaby and Starfall. Starfall, of course, being our desk host for yesterday. And we've changed that up a little bit coming in here, so go show them some love. They're doing great work. If you want to show me some love, for whatever reason, of course, you can just go... I keep on pointing the wrong way. You can go there. In the meanwhile, we're going to go there as we are heading straight into the action to see what our teams are going to be bringing through. We are going to be starting it all the way down in Minas del Sur. Lovely southwestern starting point. But here we go, getting ready to cook up a bit of a storm. If you want to drop your predictions, if you want to tell me who you think is going to be the team to clutch it out, now would be a very good time to do that. Also, if you want to tell me where you think the zone is going to be going, drop those predictions, as it is going to be as Monkey D. Lovey says. Let's go! It is go time. We are going to be heading straight on through. Alright, so FALCONS, they are going to be pushing into their usual starting position, all the way down there in Valle del Mar. Let's see where the rest of the zone is going to pop. The team's getting ready for that action. I love the suspense music coming through here, adding to the pressure. Hi DK, Black Hand. Let's make PMG slot. Oh, you want to take it from the Falcon White team. Well, we did have a look at the points. It is going to be quite a bit of a push now having to come through here from the side of Black Hand. But looking at the zone, definitely not going to be a bad start. So, Arab Golden, Clear Vision, Greedy for Kills, as well as Virtual Gaming Squad are not going to be joining us in this first match. They'll be joining us once we step into game number 2. It's a good play. Very complimentary to that flight path. Koa is cracked out of his mind. Let's see whether or not Koa is going to have any luck moving through today's matches. In the meanwhile, one of the teams that I said I wanted to see them step it up is going to be Castle Black. Let's see what they're going to find here. Are they going to have a bit of a play with the Falcons White? Or is it going to be the other way around? Doesn't seem like anyone's going to be all too eager to get a little bit of dust in their eye just yet. Joker trying to see if the sound is going to trigger Puncher King here to maybe get up and make a bit of a run for it. Oh, come on. Come on, I like this push. This could be it. Castle Black now looking to get quite aggressive. Full sending it. Looking to capitalize on a bit of an opportunity here, but they're going to have to be very, very quick about it because once Falcons White move in, oh, they are going to be quite the force to contend with. But fortunately, Castle Black, they do have a knock come through on their end, but they were also able to secure that first initial opener. Oh, nicely done. So Teak now just looking to close it up a little bit more. We've got those first eliminations secured. It's now going to be up to Ahmed and Faker to see if they can survive. Will they be regretting their choice, trying to push in on Falcons White in the early stage of the game? That is yet to be determined, but in the meanwhile, it is going to be Syke finding Mahmud. Down they go. So now, Castle Black holding on to only a 2-piece. At least, though, they do have 1 elimination up. Not exactly the kind of start that they were hoping for here. But it is just going to play out in their favor. Of course, now being securely positioned within the zone. There's no apparent need for either of these teams really to rotate around. But AXA, I think, is going to be playing a very, very important position. Especially coming through with a bit of a flank here. Trying to sneak on up behind them. Yep, and that is it. Faker is down. So Ahmed. Oh, this could be it. This could be it. Castle, no. Down to 1, not quite sure if Ahmed can hold on. It's going to be Syke rushing straight on in, and the shotty connects on through DBS to the knees. And that is going to be the end of the road. Our first grenade elimination going straight over to the side there of P6. So very, very good start coming through. But of course, in the meanwhile, we are going to be jumping over to Mo Esports and XENON. Themselves all the way on that far southern edge, but up comes the full scent now. As XENON are going to be looking to breach, not even knocking on the door, instead looking to break it down as Elicio, though, comes through with a beautiful S12K hit. Oh, but you got to keep up that pressure. The moment you give XENON a bit of reach, they are going to be looking to just rush and upset as best they can. Here we go. Oh, very efficient play. As Mo Esports now down to 2. The rest of the team going to be holding towards that southern edge. You can see Hansley now either looking to avenge their teammates or just trying to assess the situation. Easy with a nice bit of Overwatch here as well. But is it going to be a pickup? Yes, it seems to be exactly what it is. So now Mo Esports not having greatest start to their match. Curious to see how they're going to be looking to play out the rest of this game. But in the meanwhile, this opens up the opportunity now for the rest of the lobby to continue their tread, to continue to get themselves situated as Hensley flies a little bit back in time. Up in Picado. It's going to be Wave. A little bit of World of Battle with the side order. It's a slight side order of Black Hand coming in from that northern edge. So who's going to be the team to contest? Who's going to be the team to defend? Yeah, I agree. If we got 2 teams from the Africa region to make it up into the global championship, I mean, that would be absolutely amazing. That would be a dream come true. 100% agree with you on that one, Vane. But let's see, in the meanwhile, how these teams are going to be performing. Because only our top contenders can look to make it there. Vampires, instead of hanging upside down, they are going to be hanging around up on the roof. But are they going to be able to lock in these sprays, though? Did we get a bit of a mic drop in the chat? What was that? Oh, yeah, no, it's just Cloud blessing us with a bit of a hand drop. As we wait to see where that zone is going to jump towards next. Is it going to center up down south? Is it going to center over on towards Los Leones? Or could potentially move all the way up into the lovely Picado? So there's going to be quite a bit of pressure now having to be played at as the zone moves up into the northwest. So that is going to be the opportunity now for the players there from Superpower to try and get themselves situated to get a bit of a play. Of course, Special Esports still on that far southern edge of the zone. As you can see, we got RUKH right there alongside the Superpowers. So there's going to be quite a bit of an opportunity for an extra bit of carnage now to be delivered. XENON trying to find their way all the way back. They now have quite a bit of ground to cover. The zone making its shift. They are on the edge. But again, now having to pick a spot, either moving up into Los Leones or going for the more northern positioning. In the meanwhile, is going to be RUKH, held on exactly that northern side. Looking to claim a bit of the territory. Want to plant their flag somewhere. In order to do that, they're going to have to get quite aggressive. RUKH Esports not going to back out of opportunity. They've spotted the play now onto the Vampires. But is Reno going to be a bit of a hazard? We don't know quite yet. I mean, Vampires also not having the worst run through their matches yesterday. Finding themselves all the way in 11th place coming into this match. Well, looking at the performances that we've had on Miramar so far, I'm curious to see how these teams are going to be looking to up the ante. I mean, Vampires sitting in 5th place overall with regards to their overall Miramar play. Coming through with a grand tally of 14 points, 10 eliminations. They are definitely not shy when it comes to showing a little bit of that aggression, right? Showing their teeth. They're not going to shy away from that chance. In the meanwhile, we do also then see in the feed players there from Special and Smash getting into a little bit of an altercation. The standoff continues now. As the world of battle. Wait quite patiently. Still 3 teams situated here. Wave also now going to be riding it out. Let's see if they can maybe find a bit of an opportunity. Black Hand still going to be holding just towards the edge. Right, that zone is going to be closing up yet again. Let's see what that shift will bring. Is it going to swing north? Is it going to swing south? I see Falcons already now starting to make a bit of a push. As they get themselves mobilized, starting to head on across. Of course, we have our running leaderboard there at the side of the screen. You can see what the current point situation is. Of course, there's going to shift from there to the top of the screen. If you're curious, at any point moving on forward. But RUKH with a nice northern angle here. Again, not crazy terrain to play off of. I think somewhere like where we have the players there from +18, that could maybe be a little bit more of an ideal angle to hold. But fortunately, +18 and Jack Digger Esports are going to be coming in on that eastern side. Now it's going to be 77k also looking to rush a little bit further forward. But will we see any of that aggression now being shown? Contention also now starting to build over on towards that western side. So the team's essentially divided. A little bit of focus on the east, a little bit of focus on that western front. But still a lot of focus up in Picado. No one is going to be relinquishing control there just yet. So Storm now going to be just inching the way. Trying to get themselves ahead of those potential Picado rotations. So Black Hand will present themselves with another opportunity to try and find a few more eliminations. Meanwhile, it's going to be Falcons also just making their play. Ooh. Wave in the world of battle. The stubbornness could cost them quite dearly. As that blue zone now has caught up to them. On yesterday's very first Miramar, we did see 7 players losing to the blue zone. Right, so Miramar, blue, sitting with a grand total of 7 eliminations against the players. As we do see RUKH now potentially being the first one to fall. The knock has come through. But they're going to have to step up the aggression here if they are going to be looking to get themselves secured moving into that zone. In the meanwhile, it's going to be Smash and Special also fighting each other up into center zone. Because we're about 35 seconds away from seeing where that next shift is going to be taking us and what exactly these teams will have to do. But will Wave and the World of Battle be able to get themselves out of that danger zone and safely and securely positioned coming into this next phase? In the meanwhile, you see the tension brewing over towards that eastern side. 77k and Jack Digger holding nice and steady. +18, waiting quite patiently, right? Showing a lot of trigger discipline. In the meanwhile, RUKH Esports, they're going to be looking to capitalize on the available opportunity. Trying to get themselves perched and a decent position it is indeed. Alright, so Wave, they do lose their first player. Now it's going to be Vampires and RUKH. No, Easton, they don't necessarily have to wait. They choose to wait, right? I mean, they could just risk it for the biscuit, get in their vehicles, and off they go. As we do see Wave now really starting to fall. Yep, that is going to be the blue zone waving goodbye. As they go out in 15th position. Now, Vampire's going to be looking to up the ante. There we go, nice play coming through here from Hazard. Ooh, but they get met with a bit of a nade. The World of Battle now going to be suffering a very similar fate to that of the Wave team. Vampires with good angles. Oh, you got to watch your back though. Up comes the trade. That is going to be Zuxi locking it in. The spray is there. The spray is on target. What a good retaliation coming through here from Hazard. Vampire's not going to be backing down. Not yet. So let's see whether or not, again, can try to play that. RUKH currently holding on to quite a bit of a spread out position. You can see Fivo all the way off in the distance. So either they have the utmost confidence in the performance coming through here, or they are going to be looking to play a bit of a different strategy. In the meanwhile, it's the end of the road. World of Battle out in 14th. Up comes again. Ooh, yeah, those long-range hits connecting off through his Black Hand now starts to rotate in. You can see Fivo now receive a little bit of company. There goes those arrows starting to point on in. The spray is just lasering in on them. That is Fivo now in quite a bit of trouble. So much so that they are the first elimination for the side of Black Hand. So RUKH's confidence not exactly playing out in their favor here. You find them now left with one. Meanwhile, it's going to be Jack Digger looking to inch their way up into zone, sneaking around +18. With Velas coming through with a bit of a play, bit of a spray. Oh, Shadow Wind though getting picked up. It's a great opportunity now available here for Jack Digger. Are we going to see that full send? Are they going to push it all the way through? Flex, Burkhan not going to be backing off just yet. In the meanwhile, it is going to be RUKH to fall next. Up comes the spray though. It's going to be DBSs all over the place. +18. They want this position. They want to secure it. They're going to be quite aggressive when it comes to the defense. Now Eflex feeling a little bit emboldened as they come rushing up with that buggy, trying to find the play, but instead the sprays connect on through. They get whooped out of the vehicle. Now the tables could still potentially turn in favor of either of these two teams, but you can see Jack Digger, those health bars not looking all too great. +18 essentially down to 1. Oh, down to none. As the shots come through and out they go. 12th place it is. Nomia BC, I think this is Tetris, if I'm not mistaken. In the meanwhile, let's see what Eugene here is going to be looking to play. As RUKH now take a nice quiet position on that very edge of zone. It's going to be Superpower. Oh, maybe looking to go toe-to-toe with Black Hand. Looking at the reach. This could really look to play in favor of Black Hand as Koa now lets the nade loose. Is going to bounce its way in. Oh, stops just before the window. But that Molly looks to have found its way on through. The Black Hand now going to be trying to find the best approach to take. Superpower not going to be relinquishing control just yet. They are going to be looking to hold on. You can see Unab keeping it nice and concise here. They're close together, but not too close. But again, the situation now develops into a bit of a standoff. Superpower or Black Hand will have to take the plunge. They will have to rotate out as the blue zone is going to be closing in very, very soon. All for Luigi though up top. Gotta watch out for those windows. Especially with Koa on the trigger. Nice back and forth between both of them. Both teams gotta stand their ground. No one wants to relinquish control. It does seem like Superpower are gonna be looking to capitalize on the terrain as they start to push on in. The zone getting ready to pop as well. Now constricting this playable area. Ooh, Superpower now playing with a little bit of fire. They come rushing closer, trying to contest Black Hand. Already utilities, the molly is getting sent out in anticipation. Let's see if Mozaro can clutch it out. Oh, the aggression so far looks to have almost paid off. Black Hand now has to dip their way into that zone if they are going to be looking for that longevity. I mean, it's all good and great to fight on the edge of the zone. But you still got to keep a very close eye on that blue. Hey, we got Taka coming in on Facebook as well, giving us a good. There we go. We'll take it. We'll take it. In the meanwhile, let's see if Black Hand are going to be able to survive this one. Will they be able to bring Koa and Storm back into the fight? Team's going to continue, though, with the standoff. Some other reason the teams are going to be choosing a little bit more of a tranquil approach. But in the meanwhile, we do see that hit connecting up now on through all the way from Brute. So that is special. Just locking in. Danzo is Danzo. As they get wiped under the rug, off they go. Jack Digger now going to be holding on to a two-piece. At least with 3 eliminations already to their name. But that is but only the start. Predictions coming through here for RUKH and FALCONS. If you agree, give me a yes in the chat. If you don't, tell me who do you think is going to be the team to clutch it out. I mean, XENON also going to be holding on to a full 4-piece, also then coming through with those 4 eliminations. And we've seen quite a bit of aggression come through from XENON here as well. Our most aggressive team, our most aggressive 2 teams rather in the previous season was going to be the side of course, not was going to be, but it definitely was. Oh, RUKH and FALCONS White. In the meanwhile, the Vampires are going to be the next team to go out as they get shipped off with 3 eliminations. Superpower going to be following suit. Now RUKH going to be looking to lock it down. They found a bit of an opportunity here onto 77k. Not the easiest angle to hold. Jack also going to be playing up from the containers. So there is a great opportunity now for both RUKH and 77k to see if they can lock in those sprays. Ooh, to commit to the aggression. Melas just falling back. So Jack Digger in a very difficult position up towards that northeastern side of the zone, as they have to contend with the RUKH and 77 if they want to get themselves secured within this next shift. But of course, the blue zone is going to be constricting on end, so we'll see in a very short moment exactly where that is going to be taking us. Special find themselves currently sat smack dab center zone smash. It's going to be prepping themselves a bit of a push as the zone just pulls in on itself. And this is now going to allow for the FALCONS in hand to push on in. The same can go for XENON. But Easy from Mo is going to have a pretty tough run. They got quite a bit of contention now. It's positioned just up ahead of them. Smash, I think, also going to have a pretty comfortable time, at least moving forward into the zone. But again, looking at the terrain, not the most ideal position to try and play off of. Special now looking to do a little bit of the due diligence. Ooh, nice play though from Smash. They come in all the way from up north. That is also then the end of Mo Esports. Easy, out they go. 9th place though. So just falling short of those placement points. Let's see who's going to be the next one to pick it up. Jack Digger slowly encroaching from that eastern side of zone. Quite a bit of opposition. As you can see, 77k still going to be holding nice and steady. But 77k will have a few of their own problems to worry about. Have to find a way to get around RUKH Esports. Ooh, Oh, 77k now, realizing that there is someone just coming in from behind. Now trying to see if they maybe can lock in the finishing plays. As for Mud, is going to be the last hope here for Jack. Blue Zone is going to be eating away at their health bar. I don't see from Mud making out of that one. And of course, Koa with a beautiful assist. Down they go. The Black Hand going to fall in 7th place. Only 3 eliminations up. The contention is going to be building. We are still sitting here waiting to see what our top 6 teams for this match are going to be bringing on out. Oh, the push is there. RUKH Esports now going to be trying to find that angle to capitalize off of. They've got good positioning, especially onto the edge here. Looking at that eastern control. Still XENON holding on that southern side. Could present a little bit of a challenge. But they are going to be out for it. Now, of course, it is going to be, well, 77k trying to capitalize as they push in. A9Q, though, goes down. Gagal Morteza having to try and defend. RUKH Esports not going to be making it any easier for them as they do find Morteza, and that is the end. 77k also then going to be out with 3 eliminations. So very, very tough run so far. Smash potentially down to 1. Unless, of course, they can get Ilias back into the fight. But Default trying to play off the elevation here. Trying to play the advantage. But a very dangerous position as Smash now experiences the loss firsthand. One quick nade coming through, and that is done. 5 eliminations up, though. So the final 4 teams left to duke it out. Falcons White sitting on 3. Special could potentially also be down to 3, unless that res has been secured, which it is. So now bringing YC back into contention. Special's still going to be looking pretty decent here. We've now hit that 9th phase, right? There's going to be no more shifts coming from this point. It's all going to be blue, blue, blue. So Special currently finding himself smacked up center zone. I don't think it's going to be the easiest play, but we got the predictions coming through for Falcons. 1 for XENON, and 1 for RUKH. So Special not receiving any love just yet. But this is now the chance, for Special to try and reach in as they let loose quite a bit of utility. Making things quite difficult now for RUKH Esports to have a consistent rush. In the meanwhile, it's going to be the Falcons looking to capitalize. But they're going to have to share with XENON as they too get ready for a bit of a rush. So our final 4 teams now are going to get ready for some pretty sweaty performances here as they are jumping right into the mix. Teak already hitting 600 damage. Down goes Eugene. That is now down to the final 3. RUKH, though, out with 6 eliminations up. Up comes YC trying to defend that little crack, that narrow opening. Oh, but look at the carnage. XENON out with 8. Gonna have to settle for 3rd place. Now it's between Falcons and Special to see who will be clutching it out. 11 eliminations already secured here for Falcons. 2 more players at hand. Now only 1 standing between them and that winner chicken dinner. They do find the hits, and that is YC right out of there. As the Falcons swoop on in. Claiming themselves the glorious winner chicken dinner. Now this is the Falcons White that we saw in the previous season, performing exceptionally well. 183 damage being secured. A very, very spicy play. Also taking quite a bit of damage there as well. But very exciting to see Falcon White stepping up especially on a Miramar heavy day, a map which we know they are exceptionally proficient in. So I'm excited to see whether or not they are going to be able to lock it in more consistently pushing through the day. But of course, well, as we know, previous season, they only secured themselves 2 winner chicken dinners, but they were the most aggressive team, going through with 141 eliminations just on Miramar, and that is through the league stage. So very, very impressive performance that we've seen come through from them. But of course, we want to see that consistent flow continue to be the trend. The teams aiming for the very, very top. And of course, first up, we need to see how our matches here have impacted what the point situation is, right? So we're going to have to take a look at those match rankings. Then we're going to be venturing into our leaderboards. But before we get anywhere close to that, let's take a look at the replays. Bam! And we're back, getting ready to see what that board looks like. Of course, we first up need to take a look at the match rankings to see exactly what the result was, right? Falcons coming through with those double-digit eliminations, so we already know what their score is. But what did the rest of the lobby do, right? Where did they find themselves with regards to those points? Were they able to bring in enough to play for a potential upset? Of course, we don't know just yet. We're going to have to wait and see exactly what those scores are. And well, here we go, hopping straight to it. As you can see, the hits now being delivered. Lovely 24 points being secured on board. Lovely 14 elims. I mean, I said lovely like 7 times. I'm going to say it probably 23 times more. But that is exactly what the Falcons white team did there. 8 eliminations going over to the side of XENON for a grand total of 13. But the double digits go all the way down to 4th place, right? RUKH Esports also securing themselves a very strong performance here, going through with those 6 eliminations alongside Special. I'm from Norway in Africa. Yes, that is a place. I don't know on which map, but definitely it is a place. Let's take a look at that second page. It is going to be Mo Esports Superpower +18 and Wave. And will find themselves all the way in that donut shop. Unfortunately, not a single point to speak of just yet, but they are going to be looking to bring it in. I mean, Castle Black also at least getting sent off with 1 point up. So a point is a point is a point at the end of the day. Of course, you can see the little clock that we had ticking off up in this corner. We've got about 2 minutes and a bit of change left until we are going to be hitting the next matchup. So, of course, as we know, right, we are going to be venturing to a little bit of Sanhok to see exactly what the teams are going to be doing, right? Who's going to be the ones to sweat it out? Because, well, we love to rumble in the jungle, so there's going to be quite a lot of heat, quite a lot of pressure coming through as the map of Sanhok allows for a lot more of that aggression to be shown by the teams. Seeing that it's so tiny in comparison to what we just had here on Miramar. So the pressure is building, right? The team's starting to, you know, just to shake it off a little bit, getting rid of all the dust before they are going to be just expanding and capitalizing with some pretty phenomenal performances. But we are going to be here to catch all of that as we are prepping ourselves now to move on in. So if you've got any potential things that you want to talk about, share them in the chat. In the meanwhile, let's take a look here at Falcons White, who just locked in such an aggressive playing. Oh, look at that Axel, though, only taking 99 damage. So they were just laughing in the face of opposition, saying, you know what, we're just going to try and survive. Teak, though, delivering quite a heavy blow. Puncher, missing a few of those punches, though. As you can see, only 62 damage being found there by them. So that is quite a surprising number to see. But in the meanwhile, things are looking pretty good, though, with regards to the total eliminations. It does put them on a very, very comfortable 14. So Falcons White getting back to their usual play, their usual momentum. Right, just finding everything they can. Now, especially on a Miramar day, I think they are going to be having a very, very happy day. We did see a few shout-outs coming through for the Falcons on both YouTube and Facebook. So if you're here to support one particular team, show them some love in the chat. Give them a shout-out. Let's see exactly who has the highest amount of supporters. I mean, yeah, then we know why they are performing the way they are, right? Meanwhile, we are going to be prepping up to see exactly what that map is going to bring. Speaking of maps, though, let's take a look here at XENON. As you can see, their performances coming through as well. XENON going to be picking up 8 eliminations. Carry Boy carrying the team, having the largest lead with regards to that. Marshall also bringing in their fair share, their fair contribution, 165 damage that they were able to lay on in. But Senke, Lazy Boy, and Carry Boy all hitting in excess of 400 damage. So that is a very good performance. Senke, Carry Boy coming through with those knocks as well. But how is this going to translate into Miramar? Erangel, Sanhok, right? All these maps we want answers to. But as we know, the first one up that we are going to be hopping into is going to be none other than Sanhok. So the teams will have to show their capabilities, show just how eager they are to lock it in the jungle. Of course, as we know, moving into Sanhok, right? Flight path, not going to be as important. What is, however, going to be way more important is where that first initial zone is going to be taking us. So curious to see what your thoughts are as to where we could be finding that zone. Are we going to be looking at one going up to boot camp, maybe down to paradise? I know I say up and down, but actually it's the opposite direction, right? We got Painan there as well. We got a little bit of that northwestern island over towards Camp Alpha. So I'm curious to see where these teams are going to be looking to get themselves situated. And who could potentially be the team in the running to get that winner chicken dinner. So let me know, let me know. But yes, it is going to be just about go time, as we got about 20 seconds or so left to see exactly where these teams are going to be pushing into. So the teams that are going to be stepping onto the map for the first time now is going to be Arab Golden, Clear Vision, Greedy4Kills, as well as Virtual Gaming Squad. The teams that are going to be sitting it out is going to be Black Hand, FALCONS White, Superpower, and Wave Esports, right? So they're not going to be here. The other 4 teams that I mentioned, they are. They're going to be stepping in for the first match of the day. And what better map to do it other than on the lovely, lovely Sanhok, right? Getting ready for a nice bit of aggression, a nice bit of a sweaty play. Let's see how these things are going to go. It's going to be Handhawk. Is that where we're going? We're going to Handhawk, apparently, right? It's not Sanhok anymore. It's Handhawk. So let's see what these teams will bring on through. So be sure to drop your predictions. I want to see your prediction for zone, as the flight path is not going to be all that important. We got a few new people joining us in the chat as well. So welcome to everybody. Excited to have all of you here. But yes, if you're coming in, tell us who you're here to support, right? Out of our 20 teams, who do you think is going to be the team to clutch it out at the end? Of course, you can also share your thoughts going onto social media. So you can hit us up right here on YouTube. You can also share your thoughts on Facebook as well. That's also where we are right now. And then, of course, you can hit us up on the lovely TikTok. Be sure to include the hashtag there, PMPL Africa, as we wait to get right down to business. It's none of that. It's a lot of this, as the teams are getting ready to roll, right? It's going to be Sanhok time. So we want to see sweaty. We want to see aggression. I want to see a potential bit of a hot drop maybe coming through at some point, right? Not necessarily today, or maybe today. Yes, let's go with today, right? We want to see a little bit of that hot drop action come through right in for today. So drop me your predictions. Tell me where you think that zone is going to be going. We can see the plane now starting to warm up. We can hear the propellers starting to turn up as well, right? So we are going to be heading into that map. What do we have with regards to predictions? Anything coming through in the chat? No, not yet. Oh, we have something there. You think all teams should just drop in boot camp and get it done with? I mean, I think that could potentially be one way to look at it. I think that is going to be quite chaotic, or if that is going to be the case. But yeah, I don't think that is necessarily going to be the play. So if you have any predictions with regards to zone, let me know. We are going to be hopping on that plane in a very, very short moment to see exactly what our teams will have to work with. Of course, looking back at yesterday's Sanhok to get a bit of an idea as to what we could be expecting to see come through here today. Of course, remember, Sanhok was all the way back on match number 3, right? So yesterday, that was the opportunity for Greedy4Kills to step up to claim their first victory, 6 eliminations. But we also then saw the players from Wave Esports coming through with 10. Unfortunately, we don't have Wave here. right? So Greedy, they will have that opportunity to spread and see just how much they can find as we are going to be heading into that map, starting all the way at Sami, heading up towards the northeastern side. Some very dope tunes coming through here. How can you predict if you don't know what is going on here? Well, Nomi, you can see the names now on the map. Pick a name. Any name. Pick a random name. Where do you think the zone's going to go? You can even just give a direction. You think it's going to go north, east, south, west, center. Is it going to go upside down, backwards, back to front, out the door, in the window? Any position will work. In the meanwhile, you can see our longest elimination hits coming through there. 7 reefs sitting on 504 meters. Now that is an absolute insane play. Our grenade finishers coming through there as well. Right, Rami sitting on 4. We got Petrox on 3 and Psych coming through on 2. But this is what our current leaderboard looks like. Javian saying that the zone is going to be pulling all the way to Camp Alpha up in towards that northwestern side. Jack Digger and PLUSEIGHTEEN are going to be finding themselves right up in Hut 10 for a little bit of hot and sweaty play. In the meanwhile, it is going to be a virtual gaming squad. Ooh. Up against Ra'ad. Let's see who's going to be the one to walk away with boot camp. Alright, so the shots are being fired. First elimination, though, has come through on either end. But Ra'ad looking very, very battered and bruised as Zuxi now tries to evade the lead, but unfortunately, it's not going to be on the cards. Instead, they go down. So Ra'ad, the first team out, at least walking away with elimination. So not the most ideal finish, but, you know, points. Points are points at the end of the day. Because we were talking about Hut 10 a little while back. Here we go. Jumping straight into Jack Digger as well as PLUSEIGHTEEN. But we also see a little bit of something brewing over in Paradise Resort. With the players from Smash and Greedy. Alright, so now Greedy try and ride it out. Maybe looking to play a bit of a southern positioning, but instead it is going to be Black Loss waiting in the wing. Oh, come on. Who's going to get it, though? Fair trade so far. Greedy not going to be backing off. They are going to be looking to find that winner with a chicken dinner yet again. So this is the first time for Smash team, now also stepping onto Sanhok for the season. So we don't have any statistics, at least for the fall split. We can of course look back to spring to give us a bit of an idea as to what we could be expecting to see come through here from them. Smash team, they weren't necessarily graciously blessed when it came to Sanhok. They found themselves 13 eliminations and 3 placement points for a grand total of 16. Let's see how this one is going to unfold now. Ooh, Smash already looking to step it up. Looking to up the ante. Hey, Ilias coming through with a bit of a hit there. I mean, we did see Hemo in that interview. But it does seem like Hemo is not going to be able to play as aggressively as they would have intended to. Now we wait in anticipation to see exactly who is going to be the one to step it up. Knight trying to find the angle here on towards NASA. The rest of Smash also just going to be looking to double down. Right, Greedy down to 1. That is not what they want to do. Ooh, but if you divide and conquer, hey, hey, hey! Let's see if NASA... No, they weren't. Down they go. Very, very unfortunate for them, but a good attempt. Alright, so our first 2 teams already taking the plunge. As we've now had GREEDYFORKILLS being robbed of that opportunity of securing themselves the winner chicken dinner. And meanwhile, Castle Black being presented with a bit of a chance. Held up in center zone. Going up against a few formidable foes here. RUKH Esports, definitely not a team that you want to find out in the open. Because they are going to be looking to just dial it up, right? Locking in so much aggression. Game will be fast in Sanhok. Yes, Mike, let's see whether or not that is going to be the case here. As we wait in anticipation to see what our respective teams are going to be bringing out. Special also going to be looking for a bit of an opportunity, bit of a play. They are going to be coming through from that southern edge. Unfortunately for them, there's no one really here to contest them. Meanwhile, we are still going to be waiting for more Esports +18. And then, of course, the players from Jack Digger to come through with their rotations all the way from within that northwestern side. But the Blue Zone has caught up to a big majority of our outlying teams. So they're going to have a pretty tough time to survive. And meanwhile, we can see the World of Battle also now joining us as they push through from that southern edge. But here we go. Oh, where's the shift going to take us though? Things eerily quiet. The teams wait in anticipation for this zone shift now. It has sent it up towards the southern side, so that could maybe kick the teams rather into high gear. Oh, there we go. Speaking about top gear, high gear, that is going to be Gary Boy stepping up and finding the end of Smash. Very good showing coming through here from XENON. Of course, no surprise to see that kind of performance come through from their end. Meanwhile, the rest of the teams up in the zone are going to be looking to lay it on as they get themselves closer and closer towards center zone. 77k, very close to that. But they're keeping a very watchful eye here on the World of Battle. Alright, so no one going to be making any major plays just yet. We do see Castle Black. Oh, trying to find the opportunity. Oh, it's going to be go time. Down goes Mahmud. Faker, Joker, and Ahmed now having to defend. Trying to find a bit of a reach. And see if they can get the spray secured. Meanwhile, RUKH Esports, they're not even going to flinch. They're just going to sit there and wait to see what Castle Black are going to be bringing to the table here. Still holding on the full 4-piece on either end. Pretty even odds. But as we know, RUKH Esports, a very aggressive team when it comes to this. But will that be the play of the... Will that be the name of the game right here? A lot of movement, but no pushing coming through here. Meanwhile, that does allow for a team like Arab Golden also not to just push in from that western side. 77k moving up into the hills. So RUKH and Castle Black can sort this out very, very quickly. There'll be a great opportunity for even more teams now to get involved. And that could definitely complicate things quite considerably for them. +18. Jack Digger and Mo still out in the blue. They are going to come rotating up. Mo Esports about to make their entry. Castle Black also just warming themselves up. Getting ready for that push. Getting ready for that rush. But now we want to see the send. As the zone is going to be closing up as well. Just under 10 seconds remains. See Virtual Gaming holding up a bit of a barrier. Mo Esports trying to break on through, but it's going to be Hainsley and Easy down. Rami now sneaking even closer. There we go. Look, Esports could start to encircle the players here from Castle Black. And this is not what they need to have come through. But RUKH very confident in the capabilities. So got to watch out for Joker though, as they do find default. Oh, now it is going to be go time. Oh, RUKH Esports, they've been waiting around for long enough. But instead, it is going to be Castle Black locking in the sprays. Oh, down they go. RUKH Esports having a bit of a missed opportunity there. Only finding themselves one elimination. Meanwhile, Castle Black are going to be smiling from ear to ear as they walk away with 4 elims. Right now, we jump down a little bit further over in towards By None. Virtual Gaming Squad. +18. Ooh, finding each other here. But Virtual Gaming Squad already getting put on quite a bit of a back foot. Slight hesitation with those plays now. Oh, but never mind me. 7 eliminations already to their name. Yes, RUKH Esports going out in 13th place with only 1 elimination to their name. So it is a pretty tough lobby to play through. Oh, as Burgan experiences that now firsthand, the nades are going to be finding their way on through. The Virtual Gaming Squad are going to be looking to find the approach. They've already been stepping up so confidently. But will they be able to close it out here? Oh. Come on, it's very risky angles. But it is very evenly spaced out though. 3v3. Amjid looking for the approach. Trying to get themselves properly healed up. That zone is going to be applying quite a bit of pressure here as well. Meanwhile, the fighting will continue. Oh, come on, Amjid now left to try and make a difference. They do secure the spray on towards XENON. Now it's down to Shadowin. And of course, there we have it. That is going to be the end though. Morteza. Morteza coming through with a range hit. Virtual Gaming Squad getting taken right on down. Shadowin going to be taking... not exactly the fastest way to get out of the blue. They are going to be dipping into a little of the other blue, right? Going through the water does slow you down considerably. But 77k now presented with a great opportunity to get themselves perched on the edge of that zone. Looking to gatekeep, seeing that we still have the World of Battle, Arab Golden, as well as Shadowin and the rest of Mo Esports also yet to push on through. We've not yet heard much come through from the side here of Clear Vision. As you can see, they have not a single point to their name just yet. But now, venturing up into Quarry. This could be a little bit more of a risky play. Quarry is very easy to rotate into, but it's going to prove to be quite challenging to rotate out of. Fortunately here for the side of Clear Vision, they only have 2 players positioned down below, the other 2 up top. That is going to be Vito and Van Kid. Oh, nice spraying, nice trades coming through. But again, we need to move into that last bit to see exactly where it is going to land us. The World of Battle now having to make up for a bit of lost time, trying to get themselves situated. Oh, but they are going to be experiencing quite a bit of contention. As Special yet again steps it up. 77k, also now expanding their reach over on towards that western side. It'll definitely look to leverage their position against Arab Golden here. And meanwhile, we do say goodbye to MEA Esports as they get reduced to dust. We are left with our surviving few teams now, trying to vie their way through this. As you can see, our top 3 teams coming into this match not going to be surviving to the very, very end. So it does still look quite hopeful coming through now for XENON. But Castle Black walking well ahead with those eliminations. Virtual Gaming Squad, though, they also found themselves a considerable amount. 9. Right, so a very, very aggressive showing coming through from their end. Unfortunately, they weren't able to follow through into the very last stage. Clear Vision finding a safe and successful rotation. They do secure themselves just within the zone. So Quarry not going to be proving to be as challenging to them. But again, no clear decisive play is going to come through from this one just yet. Our final 8 teams. Gonna be keeping it nice and quiet. Oh, Jack Digger, though. Down they go with World of Battle. Opposite ends. But they meet the same end. Now it's gonna be Malik still left for the Vampires. Gonna be hugging that southern edge. Not yet secured. Moving forward into that zone. Oh. Arab Golden taking the plunge as they push right in onto 77k. We got XENON, Clear Vision, and Castle Black, our predicted teams to take the winner chicken dinner. Iman letting a few nades loose. Oh, of course now 77k doing exactly the same. But they do instead find Hazem. This is now applying a little bit of pressure coming through onto Arab Golden, but a quick trade coming through that DBS does bring Thor down to their knees. A9Q, Morteza, the last 2 left to defend as Thor gets confirmed. Very aggressive showing coming through here from Arab Golden. But again, you got to watch out for those third-party sprays as they continue to find their way across this map. Timon, very, very low on that health bar. Oh, you got to watch out for that explosion. Timon, though, not going to be backing out of a fight. Special still going to be raining down a little bit of that third-party play. Timon could still very well clutch this one out. Morteza versus Timon. Who needs Pumbaa if Timon can perform like this? But they're going to have to step it up. Blue Zone is moving in, and Timon with the clutch! Wow! Arab Golden Esports now up on 6 eliminations. I mean, Timon being an absolute savage. Just ripping into the side there of 77k. Now it's going to be Malik and Carry Boy duking it out. Oh, down goes Carry Boy. But unfortunately, Marshall is there to lend a bit of a helping hand. Malik now trying to dodge the shots, the sprays, all the lead flying in their direction. As they do secure their first elimination here. Vampires might be battered, they might be bruised, but they are surely not out. Instead, it is going to be Arab Golden meeting their end after a very victorious play up against 77k. Now we are down to final 5. Right, Vampires holding on with 1. We got Special also then on 1. XENON on 3. Clear and Black Castle coming through with a full 4-piece. So the zone now just going to be shifting a little bit further down towards that western side. Castle Black looking pretty good. Decent positioning. Strong tally. Good control when it comes to the zone as well. Clear Vision going to have a pretty tough time rotating out of here, as the only way is going to be to push straight in line of sight of not only Castle Black, but also that of XENON. Oh, Joker already getting brought down. Oh! The follow-through is there. That is Lazy Boy down. In fact, that is the entirety of XENON now getting confirmed. Also Black having to contest against the side here of Clear Vision. You can see Focus and Koro now starting to push on forward. Faker letting the Molly do the talking. Oh, meanwhile, we just say goodbye to Special. Clear Vision essentially down to 1. Vito. I gotta try and survive, but up comes the push. Castle Black with the 3-piece. Looking to make it 4. Not quite sure whether or not they're gonna be able to find Ahmed, but in the meanwhile, it's gonna be the rush coming through on both ends. Down they go, Castle Black setting it in. Down they go, getting that glorious winner chicken dinner. A very exciting performance coming through here from Castle Black. That is what we love to see. So Castle Black now just coming in with a very strong representation. Locking in the points, locking in the sprays, locking in the damage. 11 eliminations for them. So a very good play indeed. But now how's that gonna bode moving forward? Of course, not only is that Castle Black's first victory of the day, but also, well, their first chicken just in general, right? So good run for them. Getting themselves a lovely, luscious chicken. Of course, a very decent, strong helping coming through with regards to those eliminations as well. Finishing on double digits. And that is exactly the kind of play that we need to see come through from a team like Castle Black. Because remember, they started off the day sitting all the way at the very bottom. Now, they could look to make quite a bit of a change up, especially if this is the approach coming through into today. So we need to, of course, see how they're going to be able to push that through into the coming matches. But a very good performance for them coming through right here on Sanhok. Those 11 points going to go a very long way alongside that winner chicken dinner. So that does at least put them up on 21. But of course, speaking about points, speaking about performances, right, we are going to be taking a look at those highlights from this past match to see exactly what our teams did. So let's hop into it. bam, we're getting ready to hop straight on into those points to see exactly where our teams ended up, of course, what that leaderboard situation is going to look like. And that then also means that our next match is just around the corner, of course. We are going to be stepping right back into Miramar for game number 3 to see what these teams are going to be bringing through. Of course, stepping into match number 3, that is also going to be the return of the players then from Blackhand, Falcons, Superpower, and Wave, with the addition of Castle Black, RUKH, Smash Team, and XENON having a bit of a break. Right, so yeah, let's see exactly what the point situation is, where these teams find themselves, and of course how that impacts our current standings. Because, you know, at the end of the day, the teams are playing for so much, right? They're playing for the top 12, at least for the phase. They're playing for the top 16 for the entire league to make their way up into those finals. They're also going to be playing for the top 6 once they get into that, to get themselves into MEA. We're playing for PMGC points. There's so much at stake here. So we've got to take a look and see exactly what these teams did, where they were able to secure themselves, and of course, whether or not the points are going to be able to make enough of a difference. Now, this still being early phase, right? Early days. Of course, these changes do impact quite a bit with regards to those leaderboards. So curious to see what these shifts are going to be bringing in. Are we going to have another 9-slot jump like we had yesterday come through from our 2 teams in that last match? Or will we have even greater jumps come through? Let's go find out.
كتير. طب انت هيمو، انت لاعب عراقي ومعاك 3 مصريين، هل ده بيشكل عليك صعوبة في الكوميونيكيشن ان كان منك في انك تفهمهم او ان هم يفهموك؟
لا بالعكس، حتى انا اللي عشت المصريه اتوقع انه 70% يعني شبه المصريين.
اوكي، شكله اتعلم مصري هيمو. ماشي، واحكي لي عن اهداف الفريق للموسم القادم وازاي تقدروا ممكن تحققوها.
والله احنا حاليا اني الخطوه انه ما راح اركز على البي ام بي ال شامبيون، راح اركز على ام اي وعلى البي ام جي سي ان شاء الله.
ان شاء الله. هل كان عندك تجربة انك تختلط بالجمهور، وبشكل عام عندك كلمة تحب توجههم لجمهورك وجمهور الجي 4 كي؟
والله بصراحه انا ما اخذت تجربه انه بالاوف لاين، بس الشباب دي الهاب لاعب اوف لاين، فكلمني انه شعور الاوف لاين حلو، الجمهور والفعاليات تكون حلوه. وبالنسبه للجمهور ان شاء الله راح نقدم اللي عندنا وجي 4 كي اوت.
Well, there we go. Getting ready to hop into it yet again. Of course, now we're going to be waiting rather to see exactly if we're going to have those results be displayed on screen. If not, we have a little bit of time to go until we are going to be hopping right back in Miramar to see exactly what our teams are going to be bringing through. But I'm pretty sure that we are going to be heading straight into those match points to see exactly what the situation is, what the tally is. Because, I mean, Castle Black, they played a phenomenal game, right? Coming through with 11 eliminations. That is quite an aggressive performance. We also did see Special Esports as well as the players then from Virtual Gaming also really just hurting it in. Now, our top performance from the past matches we can see here was none other than Faker coming through with the most eliminations. Fares coming through with 682 damage getting found. Amjid Lor securing themselves 2 nade finishes, with Carry Boy and Ramsey then locking in the longest distance head and distance traveled. So very exciting play. But Castle Black with that winner chicken dinner. We want to see the board. We want to see where these teams find themselves. But a very strong ending coming through on that. So, of course, with all of these things now being said, I think the points are going to be the next one to come on through. As, well, it makes the most sense, right? That could be especially where we are going to be heading in towards next. So as we know, Castle Black, 21 total points, right? 10 points from the winner chicken dinner, 11 points coming through from the elimination. Things are looking pretty exciting on their end. As already mentioned, Special and Virtual coming through with a very strong representation with regards to that aggression as well. But what's interesting for Virtual Gaming is all the points they found, essentially just based on, well, the aggression, right? No placement points. But here we go. It is going to be Castle Black then sitting with 11, coming through with 1,456 damage. The Special team there coming through very close to that, missing that 1,400 with only 3 damage points. And of course, we've got Virtual Gaming as well as XENON and 77k, also putting in quite a bit of work. But that is essentially our top 3 teams just locking in the most aggression. So let's see whether or not that is going to translate now, moving into those leaderboards. As you can see, Castle Black coming through with 21. Special Esports going to be picking up a lovely 13. Virtual Gaming Squad then sat on 9. All of which, as I've mentioned, right, has come through from their eliminations. XENON still locking in on 8 alongside Clear Vision and Arab Golden. Of course, all 3 teams here taking a slightly different approach to arrive at those 8 points. Same thing can be said for Vampires and 77k, as well as the players from Smash. Smash also just smashing in those elims. But unfortunately for Jack Digger, well, they're not going to be blessed with points just yet, as they are yet to try and secure that moving into our coming few matches. But of course, well, it's going to be that opportunity to see exactly what Miramar, round number 2, is going to be bringing in. And who's going to be the team to step up and claim themselves that winner chicken dinner. Of course, the first chicken dinner went over to FALCONS White, so they've already set that expectation. But is this now going to be an opportunity for a team like Black Hand potentially to step it up, show us what they got? Seeing that XENON are not going to be playing this match, right? The opportunity is there, but let's see whether they grab onto that. Of course, there's going to be one way for us to find out exactly how that will be, and, well, we need to hop into the match. So before we get there, drop your predictions, right? Who do you think is going to be the team to clutch it out? Do you think we are going to be seeing another FALCONS White performance come through, looking to save the day, potentially? Or could we see a few other contenders maybe rising to the occasion? Because essentially it's between FALCONS White and Black Hand, right? These are our current 2 top performers. XENON, who's not going to be playing, are sat in slot number 3. And then, of course, the 4th team up is going to be Special Esports. They've found themselves a grand total of 20 points so far. But Black Hand leading with regards to eliminations, sitting on a grand total of 19. FALCONS White leading with placement points. So let's see how this one goes, as we step right out into the action, into the heat. So drop your predictions for flight path for zone. In the meanwhile, the flight path is going to be starting up at Minas del Sur, heading all the way up to the north, ending just on the edge of Oasis. RUKH is hungry for revenge. So with regards to the overall rankings, let's take a quick lookity look. Gander. Well, wow, DK words. FALCONS White currently sat on 55 points. We got Black Hand and RUKH. Both teams sat on 44. And of course, we got XENON coming through on 43. Special and Virtual sitting on 42 on either end. But there we go. As the music now fades, we are going to be waiting to see exactly where that zone is going to be delivering itself. Who's going to be the ones to step up? Looks like a Black Hand zone. All right. I mean, you say it looks like a Black Hand zone, but the zone has not yet popped. So, sure. We got a bit more shoutouts are coming through for Black Hand. Eki coming through with a prediction there as well. Ooh, look at that zone, though. It is going to be looking quite nice. Especially if you are Petrox and the rest of the team there coming through from Wave. Themselves already situated smack dab center. There is the leaderboard on the edge of the screen as well. So things are pretty tight, especially within the top 7. I mean, only 15 points separating first from 7th place. Let's see how this is going to go down. In the meanwhile, we return with Wave and the World of Battle getting back into the usual spot, up into Picardo. Hopefully, as we progress through this event, we'll see these 2 teams changing up those drop locations, looking to find themselves. Or if they're going to look to stay here, we need to see that aggression come through, right? Because having a tea party out in Picardo, I mean, it might seem nice, but at the end of the day, this is PUBG, right? This is PMPL. We got to see a little bit of this now. Exactly like Vitor is going to be experiencing. So Shadowin finding that play. There we go. 1 clear down. Where will the other 3 go? They are going to be looking to maybe avenge their teammate. So +18 off to an opportunistic start. good match 3 be that rise now of +18. As we know, they already found themselves a winner chicken dinner just yesterday. Are they going to be looking to maybe bring that into today's plays? Falcons white back in the usual position again, up in Valle del Mar. We got Raad all the way up in Monte Nuevo. More Esports up in La Cobreria. Black Hand just a little bit further to the east, sat over into water treatment. But now it's going to be down to clear vision and +18 to show us who's going to pick it up as Pokers comes through, poking and prodding their way through +18. Alright, so a lot of mobility on either ends. Clear vision. Oh, looking like they mean business as they deliver quite a few devastating blows to the side here of +18, who've now been reduced to down to only 2, right? It's going to be XENON and eFlex having to find the next spot to move in towards. Based on their current trajectory, they could be looking to head further down, closer towards the lovely bit of Picado. But as we know, we've got the World of Battle and Wave already held up there, so that could pose a bit of excitement, potentially, to come through. But it's going to be very, very touch and go for them now. In the meanwhile, greedy for kills. They have a very comfortable start up in Al Azhar. Uncontested. Allowed to go about their loot business as much as they like. Second set here for the Vampires, held up in San Martin. Again, free reign to roll around, do a little bit of parkour, a little bit of garcore, any kind of core that they want to bring in. But not too far in the distant future. We want to see these sprays come through. That's going to be Raad falling victim to 77k. As Reno just gets whooped out of that vehicle. The rest of Raad quick with their reactions here. Managing to evade the chaos, the carnage. But will we see 77k now look to pursue them? Ooh, Zuxi trying to come in with a bit of range. But that doesn't seem to have deterred Raad whatsoever. They're going to be pushing further and further on towards Monte Nuevo. They are one down. But it could have been far, far worse. The meanwhile is going to be Super Power. Just holding here close to center zone. Trying to figure out whether or not they want to play up onto the plateau. Meanwhile, the Vampires a pretty good possession of this plateau already. So curious to see if they are going to be looking to capitalize and maybe have the angles work in their favor. Malek now looking to dial up the heat. In the meanwhile, it's going to be Wave and the World of Battle. Hey, hey, hey. Getting into a bit of an exchange down into Picado. I mean, they've been there for a hot minute. But fortunately, they will not be forced to move just yet. You can see the World of Battle trying to get themselves back up onto a full 3-piece. They've taken a bit of damage. Wave also holding on to... Well, World of Battle essentially on 4. It's going to be Wave now down to 3-piece. As they have lost Rex along the way. Let's see what the play will be here. What is going to be the plan, right? Will we see them look to get nice and aggressive, maybe push onto the World of Battle? Or are they going to try and maybe disengage, get themselves situated a little bit further away from this current positioning? as the zone is going to start to close on in. Picado is, however, smack dab center zone. So they could find themselves very, very favorably placed moving into this next phase. Oh, yes, indeed they do. As it swings down to the south. Virtual Gaming Squad. I like that 2-2 split coming through from them as well. Could be looking to set themselves up for a little bit of success here. Blackhand and Mo still having quite a bit of ground to cover. Let's make it all the way down to that far, far southern edge. Jack Digger also going to be taking a very spread approach with regards to their next rotation. We got Miramar leading the charge. Greedy also now coming in right behind the side of Arab Golden. But again, we wait in anticipation to see what these teams are going to be bringing on through. Are we going to have that nice and sweaty play coming in? Here we go, though. It's going to be clear vision, and the Vampires, ooh, seeing red as they are going to be looking to dial it up. Malik trying to find a bit of a trade. Holding one-shot victim. Oh, but up comes this blaze, though, onto Vankid. So Vankid and Focus are really got to focus on applying that last bit of pressure if they are going to be looking to avenge their teammate. I mean, Vampire's already down to a 2-piece, but up comes Black Hand. Oh, Malik! No! Mazzaro going to be reaching in from the edge. So Black Hand could definitely look to play a big, major upset right here as we do say goodbye to Clear Vision. Vampires also having very grim odds. But let's see whether or not Hazard will be able to make a bit of a stand against the side here of Black Hand. Meanwhile, Wave and the World of Battle still going about their business up in Picado. We also have a bit of engagement going through from 77k. Just a little bit further down south. But Wave in the World of Battle, I mean, we did see them positioned right here in the first match. Both teams were super reluctant to move, right? No one was willing to give up this position. It does seem like we find ourselves in exactly the same predicament yet again. Let's hope that zone is going to deliver enough pressure coming through as they still find themselves situated in zone 77k and Superpower now smack dab center. So the contention is there, right, with the side addition of Ra'ad pulling in from that southern edge. Let's see if Wave and the World of Battle are going to be looking to play this thing through. I mean, they've been doing the dance here for the longest time. I'm pretty sure their legs should be so tired at this point. Oh, Hazem. Yeah, I mean, that's one way of clearing the floor. Right. Just whip out your M249. Pull the trigger and see if you can run all the way to the very, very end. Meanwhile, Bedrocks, oh, coming through with a bit of DBS. A very cheeky, sneaky play. Alright, so we got a few predictions coming in as to where that zone is going to be ending up as well. If it pulls on towards 77k, that is going to be a very, very contentious play indeed. In the meanwhile, Gaddafi trying to move in. Are we going to see that rush now come through from Wave? Could this be the turning point? It is essentially a 2v3. Teams have now gotten into a little bit of action. So they've been sat here all the way back from the start of the match. And only now we've said goodbye to 3 of the players right here. The rest of the lobby focusing their intentions a little bit further down south. But it's going to be up to these 2 teams to make it happen. Someone's got to give it up. In the meanwhile, it's going to be Greedy finding a bit of a play. Virtual Gaming Squad also now bringing themselves back on their feet. Back to full 4-piece they go. Zal, oh, Meadow. So Wave's still going to be holding on. Not going to be giving it up just yet. Up comes Gaddafi. Oh, Gaddafi secures the spray, gets the clutch, and that is the World of Battle. Out they go. 15th place, 2 eliminations. But Wave holding their ground. Vampires also getting backed up in 14th place, getting shipped out 1 elimination up. Let's see where this next zone is going to be taking us. Ooh. Alright. Alright. It's not 100% confirmed just yet. But it could still pull a little bit further down south, moving away from Picado. So for Wave, this is going to be a nice setup, right? In the meanwhile, Falcons and MEA Esports having to push in from that western side. Black Hand going to be pushing in from the northwest. Then, of course, we got the addition of GREEDYFORKILLS and Jack Digger that are going to be pushing in from the east. But Mo not going to be too excited about this rotation. As they too will be a little bit reluctant. Not going to be taking the plunge just yet. But they're going to have to make a play at some point. Right, the same can be said here for Falcons. They're keeping a very close eye there onto 77k. That's going to be Jack Digger pushing in from that eastern front. Have a bit of an opportunity at hand here. They could look to leverage the surprise onto Greedy, but NASA says no. As the first nade is let loose. Perks also then finds one onto Hemo. So fair trade on either which side. Let's see whether or not Perks can lock it in. Good push. Great showing coming through here from Jack Digger. But is that going to result in success? Oh, so far so good. You just got to lock onto the last few targets. But of course now Greedy, they're not going to give up just yet. They are going to be looking to contest. They want to defend, but that is going to be Nasser running straight up into the nade. Dalhop now the last hope. Oh, a cheeky trade, but down they go. That is it. Greedy having the door slammed in their faces. Now it's going to be Arab Golden looking to come through with a bit of that ranged third-party play. Of course, now Special. Ramsey can't resist. But a little bit of a slow play with regards to that vehicle. They do suffer quite a few hits now. Ty getting popped as well. Alright, so Special, good decent spread. Great awareness coming through onto the edge. Especially towards the southeastern side of zone. Jack Digger going to have a pretty tough rotation, especially seeing that Arab Golden is going to be looking to apply quite a bit of pressure now, coming through with those reaches. But Arab Golden also really just utilizing the available space. Meanwhile, Mo, they've taken the plunge, rotating all the way to that southern side of the zone. Instead, now coming through behind the players here from Virtual Gaming Squad. But they still got to watch out for the side there of 77k hanging in the wing. Jack now feeling that heat as they are down to Perks. And there are no Perks with having a solo push through the remaining part of this match. We've got Wave also now having to slowly move out of Picado. But again, not an overly aggressive rotation. They could just head a little bit further down south. But Black Hand, they've now seen a bit of a play. Falcons going to be pulling in from that western side as well as they get ready for a bit of a move. It's going to be Wave pulling all the way down into the L shape here. Let's see what Hans' response is going to be. Will we see that jump come through? Wave with only a 2-piece left. Going to make things quite challenging for them, but they do have already 4 eliminations up. Black Hand, though, are going to be sitting on 6. So this could be quite hopeful now, especially for Black Hand, seeing that they are one of the more aggressive teams when it comes to Miramar. Ooh, meanwhile, we do say goodbye to Mo Esports. Izal having to abandon that window. Ooh, very bold rotation. Oh, but is that going to cost them, though? Not quite just yet, but the nades are in. Hand trying to clear it out. Keme also getting ready for a bit of a pressure play. But Goa could have it all cooking out here. Let's see whether or not that play is going to now come to its finishing part. The Black Hand being the favorite prediction here to take the winner chicken dinner. Denver coming through for the Falcons. Oh, but up comes the shots now. Black Hand trying to find their way, trying to get that breach secured. They're going to have to deal with Gaddafi, though. That is going to be 77k, though. Out in 11th. Oh, Zizal. If that molly worked out, could have been a good turning point. But for now, they find themselves in quite a bit of a sticky situation. It's going to be jump shots coming through the window. Koa locks it in. Now it's going to be the full send coming through from Keme. Oh, the aggression is there. Keme taking quite a bit of damage, but they lock it in. That is a Wave Esports now also going to be falling down. Now, in the meanwhile, it is Special and Virtual Gaming getting ready for a bit of contention. Oh, cheeky trade there from Ferris. YC having to find that slide, find that approach. They do have Ramsey there to provide an additional bit of coverage. Oh, but up comes the Blaze now. It's going to be a 2v1 in favor of Special. Let's see if YC is going to be able to pull that res off. As you can see them now pretty committed to doing exactly that. Broly takes quite a bit of damage. Yeah, they're not going to survive. Virtual Gaming Squad also now getting themselves back on their feet. Still going to be holding on to a 2-piece. This could be the play. This could be the angle. But Ramsey, YC now going to get tested. Oh, that nade is very, very close. YC can feel their hair just being blown back as the nade explodes almost right in front of them. Up comes the push. Ramsey, YC not going to be relenting just yet. They are going to be looking to apply as much pressure as they can, but a good play coming through here from Ferez. Oh, the play is there. This could be it. This could be it. Special now could be in a world of trouble. But it's all going to be reliant on how they play this next stretch. Ooh, actually, does seem like Virtual Gaming Squad are going to be dipping out of dodge. The blue zone is going to come closing on through, but it's a very slow closure as we still have 2 minutes left to see exactly what that zone is going to be bringing in. Meanwhile, Ra'ad. Oh, getting rushed by the Falcons. The Falcons locking in their first 2 eliminations here. All of that now coming through here at the hand of AXA. So Ab Golden going to be locking down the eastern side. Virtual Gaming Squad and Special still all the way down south. But actually just patiently waiting now for Superpower to make that move. To falter at some point. +18 also going to be feeding a lot of the aggression now getting sent their way, but a quick reaction coming through here from Berlin. Finds it on to Teak. Oh, +18 are going to be falling all the way out in the blue, as they won't make it any further. Out they go in 7th place, at least walking away with those 3 eliminations and the 1 point coming through from placement. But now we get into the position where the placement points start to climb. Ramsey going to meet their end. A special will fall all the way in 6th place. So that is going to be a glorious 5 points coming through for special. Falcons also being pressured. Superpower continue to apply the reach. Alphology, White Boy, Berlin, Unab. Decent coverage of the angles here, but you got to watch out for that off-angle play. A little bit of that flank angle coming through. Again, Falcons going to be showing that determination. Could be looking to see if they can find the spray. Patiently waiting for the opportunity, but now they're going to have to start to rotate up. So Teak, Psych, and Axa should go from a decent bit of hard cover into a very exposed, very vulnerable angle, as they will have to approach the zone with quite a bit of caution. But this now that opportunity for Unab to play the upset. They could have that first angle secured. As you can see, Falcons White now just trying to cover up their tracks before starting their push. Oh, you gotta watch out though, Axa. Very, very exposed. Oh, up comes the hits though. Unab. Oh, down they go. Axa locks it in. Berlin with a hasty repositioning there, just getting themselves a little bit more fortified. As the elimination gets stolen away from Virtual Gaming Squad down to the top 5, we are, as you can see, Virtual Gaming on 2. Superpower still sitting with their 3 players. Falcons now also experiencing a little bit of that knock-knock joke coming in their direction as well. Oh, they need to take the plunge. It's going to be Teak now sending it forward. Axa trying to play off the edge. But the blue zone restricting the options is going to be applying a lot of pressure down on them. It's going to be the end of the road for Psych though. Hand still pushed up towards the northern side of zone. Holding on to very good hard cover there. All they can do now is sit back and be an absolute menace. Meanwhile, it's going to be Superpower. Now swept down to 1 as Alphology looks to ride out the storm. Falcons also down to 1. Not exactly the outcome that they were hoping for at this point. But 4 out of our 5 surviving teams all situated down south. Up comes Hand now looking to expand. Ooh! Arab Golden trying to play a bit of reach. Let's see if Hulk can lock it in. Meanwhile, Falcons out they go 5th place. Very exposed angles still being held there by Arab Golden. Somehow they are determined to focus their sprays down onto Virtual Gaming. As you can see, Hazem now getting found. Black Hand starting to reach out. Coming through with that 2-2 split. Koa knows there's something just over the ridge. Can't exactly find where it is, but they know that it's going to be really, really close. Black Hand, the team with the highest numbers currently moving into this match, already sitting with those 10 eliminations to their name. Let's see, is that going to be enough now to fuel them all the way through to the very, very end? Hulk keeping it nice and quiet. Just trying to stay out of sight. Oh, here we go though. They are going to get pushed on forward, right? Hulk will have to get out of this position, but they're going to try and find a little bit of White Boy, but White Boy looking for Hulk. Oh, Oh, the trade is there. Who's going to survive it, though? Very aggressive showing going through here from White Boy. Oh, but down they go. Hulk getting found as Arab Golden reach over the ridge. And we are down to our final 2 teams. It's going to be Arab Golden. Sat with 5 eliminations. 3 players up. Now back to 2 they go. Simon out in the open, drifting down the hill. Oh, pure aggression coming through here from Black Hand. They could have the winner chicken dinner at hand as they are sitting here with a lovely 12 eliminations up already. Are they going to find these final few? Oh, yep. There we have it. There we have it. The winner chicken dinner. Getting handed over to Black Hand as they do secure the play, the finish. And that is it. Very, very exciting play coming through from Black Hand. Gotta love what they are doing right here. Stepping up, cooking up quite a bit. But that's what we love to see. We want to see these teams just step up and bring in the heat, bring in the action. And Black Hand is surely delivering on that front, coming through with a very comfortable 15 eliminations to their name. I mean, you got to say that is exactly what we are looking for, right? We want to see what these teams are going to be looking to bring on in. And that is exactly it, right? Just locking it in, play by play. And Black Hand with a very dominating winner chicken dinner. Now, yesterday they did secure themselves a 16 elimination chicken dinner. So, not exactly 16, just falling 1 elimination short of that. But a very, very spicy play nonetheless. So, a very happy day in the Black Hand side. Let's take a look at the replays, the highlights. Well, there we go. Some very hot and heated highlights coming through on that one. But as we know, it's about that time, right? We need to see what the point tally is. We need to see where these teams find themselves. And of course, well, just how all of that impacts our overall standings. As that was kind of exactly the kind of performance we needed to see to come through here from Black Hand. It is very, very close with regards to the positions on our leaderboards. But we got to find out some way, shape, or form exactly what the situation is, right? We got to take a look at those MVPs to see who are the top earners, to see who are the players that popped off the most. Now, if you want to make a prediction as to who you think is the player with the most eliminations, right? You can't cheat and rewind and then come tell me. You got to remember, right? Give me your predictions as to who you think was the one that is going to be stepping it up, locking away with those glorious, glorious points to their name. Of course, well, I think the obvious answer is that it's going to be one of the Black Hand performers as they really, really just locked it in. But, well, before you take too long, we are going to be hopping straight into it. It's going to be Koa stealing the show here with 7 eliminations. Fares then coming through with a glorious 940 damage being delivered. Perks securing themselves 2 nade finishes. And Mozaro doing quite a bit of work at range. Greedy also doing a lot of rotation coming through. But very impressive stats. Vayne hitting it right on the artery. Right. Right on the money. Coming through with a prediction there for Koa. And it was 100% correct. Mozaro did try. I mean, but unfortunately, the only thing Mozaro got was the longest hit. They were able to, of course, secure quite a few eliminations for the team as well. But that is just the way the cookie crumbles, right? When you're going up against Koa, you can only go so far. And of course, when you're going up against Black Hand, you can only find yourself so much damage as Black Hand locked in 21-78. So a very, very strong showing going through there from their end as well. Gotta love where these points are going. Golden also just stepping up to the plate, locking in nearly 1800 damage. So again, very satisfactory performances coming through here from our teams. We need to see where exactly, right, these teams are going to be looking to push the envelope to next. As we need to have it all over the place, right? 1 successful run, 2 successful runs. It's not going to be enough. We need to see a consistent play come through that. So you can bet your hand that they are going to be looking to do exactly that, right? Black Hand are going to be looking to play the upsets as best they can. Talking about hands, right? Look at this. 25 points going straight over to the side there of Black Hand as they do secure themselves a very, very good finish. Of course, 12 points then going over to the side there of Virtual Gaming Squad. So gonna like that though. 7 elims looking very hot and tasty. 11 points going over to the side of Arab Golden. And that is exactly what we want to see more of, right? The team stepping up to the challenge, stepping up to the plate, showing us how exactly they are going to be looking to push through the proceedings. We've got to take a look at that second page. Unfortunately, it's going to be Mo Esports and the players from Greedy that find themselves in a slightly more abrupt finish, right? Not exactly getting themselves to where they would have wanted to go. But at the end of the day, that is what they will have to deal with. Of course, they still have 2 more matches being played here today, in which they could look to rectify any of these point situations. But there is going to be the pressure now continuing to build, right? The team's really having to lock it in. As next up, we are going to be heading over to a little bit of Erangel to see what our teams are going to be bringing in. Of course, Erangel, no strangers to our teams, but let's take a look at a bit of a breakdown here coming through from the performances in this last match. Oh, Falcons White with only 1110 damage being found. Comparing that to the 2178 coming through from Black Hand. So indeed, as we've been seeing in the chat, heavy is the hand. Definitely quite heavy when it comes to the amount of eliminations they were able to secure for themselves here. Of course, we did see 16 just yesterday. So yeah, looking forward to seeing even more of that being played out. But are they going to be able to replicate the efforts yet again, right? Today is going to be Erangel for match number 4. That is also then going to mean that we are going to be having another group sitting out, another group joining us. But match 4 also marks the end of the day for the players in Group A, right? So 77k, Jack Digger, Ra'ad, and Vampires. This is going to be it, right? Once they cross this point, well, there's not going to be any more matches for them. And as a result, the players in Group B are going to be sitting this one out. So Mo Esports +18 Special and the World of Battle. As we can see, we don't see them up at the top of the leaderboard. So they will still have a great opportunity to bring in that needed push to try and secure themselves within those standings. Black Hand, though, having a very comfortable run, taking that 1 slot jump back up into pole. They were contested by the side of Falcons White for a little bit. Of course, Virtual Gaming Squad also taking glorious 3-slot jump all the way into 3rd place. Special moving 1 up into 4th. As a result, RUKH and XENON got moved down a little bit. Arab Golden also with a 8-slot jump rather, all the way into 9th. So they started all the way down in, what, 17th position before the last match. Now we can see that move being a result here. Very good for them. Super power rather. Also then moving up from 20th into that 19th position. So the team's definitely doing quite a bit of work, right? Locking in those points, starting to climb the board. And, well, the upsets are being played out. But that is only with regards to this phase, right? Well, we just saw that is the overall standings. Of course, Erangel is going to provide yet another opportunity for the teams to get right down to business, to get down to the nitty-gritty and show us exactly what they intend to bring on through, as we are going to be heading into the bread and butter. Yes, That is another thing as well. I don't know what it is, but it's a thing. All right. So in the meanwhile, while we are prepping up to head into Erangel, I think that would be a good opportunity if you have any predictions with regards to flight path and zone, or if you wanted to go any particular way. I think that would be a good time to let us know so we can see exactly where the zone is going to be taking us and what the teams will have to do. Of course, who could be that potential team being blessed with a beautiful setup coming through here, maybe finding themselves in a more favorable setup. In the meanwhile, we are going to be prepping to see exactly what that will bring. So let's jump into the action as we make our way down. Melkomeda coming through with a shout out there going out to Koa. Yes, indeed. Alright, so nice start though with the flight path. Leaning a little bit more up to the northwestern side, but that is not necessarily going to be a big major problem. However, it is going to be quite reliant on what that zone is going to be bringing on through. Yes, Erangel. That makes a little bit more sense, Jahad. Because Erangel, I don't know what that is. But Erangel, I can see what you're trying to say. That melee zone, yeah. I definitely agree. I think a melee zone is not going to be the most opportune play to come through here for the teams. Let's see what they're going to be making with the push. Alright, here we go. Here we go. It is going to be Jack Digger and Wave kicking us off. That zone, of course, all the way to that far eastern side. Centered up on Shelter. Ooh. But what is Wave going to do in the meanwhile? I definitely want to see Wave Esports step it up, right, to really get down to the cooking. Because, I mean, particularly looking at how they played through Miramar, it was not that pure aggression that I was hoping to see. So maybe Wave could really look to lock it down this time around. I mean, Wave also a very aggressive team in the previous season when it came to Erangel. They were in the top 7, sitting with 85 eliminations, 37 total placement points. So I want to see if they are going to be looking to bring back that same kind of consistency. In the meanwhile, Jack will continue to move upwards and onwards, looking to see if they can find any magic to happen. They have their eyes set on the prize. They want to get that elimination secured. They do find Gaddafi, and that is exactly the kind of opening they need. One down, a few more to go. Are they going to wave goodbye to the opposition? Well, based on Petrock's position here, that could be exactly... Ooh, what could come through now? And there's going to be Rex. Oh, getting the caught on the short end. Zizal. And Petrock's not going to let anything slide past them just yet. But this is definitely the opportunity now for Jack to double down on the efforts. Gotta watch out though, Melas. You gotta watch out. Good angle though. Could definitely look to play it in their favor. But Petrock's just trying to help them with that door. It is going to be blocking their line of sight. Now down below. It's going to be up to Danzo and Melas, as well as Perks. Oh, let's see. Let's see. Is it going to find its way in? Good reach. So now Wave literally trying to creep their way into this position. Oh, Petrox. Oh, Petrox. It's going to be go time, right? No place to hide anymore. Out in the bush, wearing blue versus the lovely, lovely grass there. Woo! It's going to be a tough one. But fortunately for Petrox, though, the smoke is going to be doing a little bit of disjustice here. Injustice coming through to the side of Jack. Ooh. Yeah, Force getting found. But up comes the play. Alright, so Petrox is out of there. So Wave. What is the approach going to be here? I mean, Zizal might maybe just look for a little of that zone positioning. In the meanwhile, it's going to be Jack looking to hop in their vehicles. Play for zone. At least that's what it seems like. So Zizal can't exactly hear the footsteps off in the distance. Let's see if it will get converted. Are they going to look to step it up? Are they going to lock in on the aggression? Ooh. Jack's still just holding onto the edge. In the meanwhile, we still have quite a few teams now on these outlying edges. Looking to find that approach, looking to find that play, that angle to get themselves all the way over to that far eastern side, right? RUKH Esports, they're just going to come flying out of the lovely Saverny. As they too come through with a bit of a later rotation, slight bit of a delay, but they still have at least have about 2 minutes left on the clock before that blue zone has closed up entirely. I'm curious to see if they are going to be looking to rotate up into Yasnaya or maybe something a little bit closer towards zone. Either which way, if they go a little bit closer to zone, they could have a good, decent run. Speaking about decent runs, that is exactly what Zizal is going to be bringing through here. They have found perks. And now we are down to Melas, the last one. The blue zone now envelops them. That is going to make things a little bit more exciting. Right, the players now going to have to try and keep up with the pace here. As the big bad blue zone is going to be looking to help them back into that lobby. Smash also just lurking in the wing. But Milas needs to find a way out of that. In the meanwhile, as we continue further down south, we find ourselves here with XENON and Clear Vision. Greedy, though, letting it loose over onto the side of ARB up in shelter. As Arab Golden now face off. Ooh. Yeah, I think they might have just wiped the entirety of Greedy out. Let's see if that pops up. Hemo seems to be the last one left. Oh, no, they still have more. Alright, Greedy left with 2 players. Instead, oh, Greedy, they've been able to claim the entirety of Arab Golden. Wow, I was pretty convinced that that was going to be the end of at least Greedy, but it doesn't seem like that is what's on the cards for them. In the meanwhile, RUKH, well, they've decided to wrap all the way around the northern side of Yasnaya. Heading down to that more Lipovka angle. Maybe pulling up into prison or just close to the edge of that zone. Ra'ad, Black Hand. Of course, then the players there from Castle Black also going to start with a push. Ra'ad having nothing but open space to try and push through. They now head for the top of shelter. Top of prison. Right into that lumberyard. I think that car needs a bit of a service. Doesn't exactly sound the way it's supposed to. In the meanwhile, one shot. Oh! Takes a bit of a beating, but fortunately, Vankid is there to bring in the response. Falcon's going to be pushing in from that southern edge as well. Thanks, Hollywood. Have a good run. Now look at the Falcons. Going to be looking for a good run here as well as they do find Waleed. Oh, Amjid rather. Amjid is down. Virtual Gaming Squad now holding on to a 3-piece. Definitely look to capitalize on a little bit of that hard cover, but Ferris now getting caught out in the open. Oh, they need to keep themselves very, very mobile at this point. Because once the Falcons grab hold of them, they have them in their claws, they are not going to be looking to let them go just yet. But this is the play now for Virtual Gaming Squad. Just inching their way back into a little bit more safety. Heading further away from center zone. Up in the lumberyard. It is going to be the Vampires and RUKH. That is Yezen down. Malik, Ninja Boy now looking to see if they can find the last little bit. But Malik also then falls. Now Ninja Boy. Ooh. They fall like a tree in the woods. All the way back into that lobby. Well, still 3 teams out in the blue. You're trying to get themselves situated and positioned. So Superpower, Wave, and Jack will have quite a bit of ground to cover. Right, as the zone continues now with a shift further on towards the eastern side. So Black Hand going to be looking in the wing. Trying to come in behind a few teams. Smash now just going to be looking to hop scoot their way onto the very, very edge. RUKH and house climbing. 5 and 6. What are we talking about? What is house climbing? In the meanwhile, Marshall looking to push further and further in. This could be a good setup though. I mean, as you can see, they have pretty decent access to that very center zone positioning. And meanwhile, RUKH here and Castle Black on the edge towards the northeastern side. Still going to be playing in and around the lovely lumberyard as Castle Black look to dip down a little bit further, closer on towards Multi Power. Hey, we got a few waves coming in the chat as well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're just joining us, give us a bit of a wave, right? Tell us who you are here to support. Who do you think is going to be the team to clutch it out? You can see our surviving teams now on the edge of the screen. Black Hand going to be feeling a little bit of that heat as we do have Storm on their knees. Well, this could be Hand's play down onto the side of Greedy. Smash though, still hanging on the wing. Good position on the edge of zone. Ooh, they could also play quite a bit of upset here, but it's going to be Knight now looking to come in for a bit of a clutch. Oh, they do find Storm. So Smash now just sitting here listening at the cacophony of shots going off around them. Being quite happy with the position they chose. Meanwhile, it's going to be XENON now trying to capitalize. They do spot out a bit of rotation coming through as Greedy Delhop looks to put as much distance in between themselves and any contention coming in from behind. As the team's performance now slowly relies on them. Oh, here we go though. Black Hand, Ra'ad. Getting caught on the edge. Ah, Tony. Tony. If I wasn't so stubborn, I would maybe have blushed. Ooh, all right. Well, that is Jack Digger now digging themselves a bit of a hole. All the way back into the lobby, out with 3 eliminations they go. It's going to be Black Hand now looking to capitalize as they come swinging on in. Looking to find even more of Raad. Reno is down. Zuxi, Fivo still going to be hanging in the wing. That zone now taking quite a bit of a shift over in towards the northeastern territory. Focusing essentially up onto the lumberyard, so it is going to be a potential play for the King of the Hill. Mozaro and Koa coming through for a little bit of that drive-by action. But they're going to have to share. We've got RUKH Esports right here with them as well. Right, the rest of the lobby yet to rotate up. 77k moving in from that southeastern side. It's Super Power also now encroaching from the south. With Virtual Gaming way off in the distance. And, well, we wave goodbye to another team. Ooh. RUKH gonna try and defend the lumberyard with everything they've got in their arsenal. Good positioning. Phenomenal positioning, in fact. They do find a quick little bit of a hit on towards Mazzaro. And I mean, I feel sorry for Mazzaro, right? They just healed themselves up. So if Mazzaro has a little bit of OCD, that is not going to bode quite well for them. In the meanwhile, it's going to be Focus. Oh, knocking on the devil's door. Oh, it's going to be XENON just on the opposite end. Marshall getting sent off. That is Smash and Clear Vision now looking to constrict down onto the side here of XENON. Gotta pick one of these two. Is it gonna be RUKH or Hand? Keme Koa trying to lock it down, but up comes that full send. Eugene with a beautiful spray. Now it's gonna be the opportunity. This could be the end for Hand. RUKH now, oh, gets the job done. That is RUKH now sitting on a very comfortable 8 eliminations. Up comes Clear Vision. They only need to find Carry Boy. And then it is the end of the day. Ooh. Yep, there we go. XENON getting kicked on out. They are donezo. At least not with their matches for the day, but just with the Erangel. 77k. They definitely have to make quite a bit of an impact here. Seeing that this is their last match of the day. Looking to see how they can finish off. So you know, Jack Digger already out. Raad still holding on, but they need points. This is also their 4th match. The Vampires. The 4th team that has played their last match of the day here. We've seen quite a bit of the flex come through from 7 Reef. Right, hitting that 504-meter hit just yesterday. That is an insane, crazy distance for it to be delivered. Let's see what Smash are going to be bringing through as they are getting ready to now rotate up. Oh, Virtual Gaming Squad, they will fall in 10th. But unfortunately, not a single point getting delivered to them. Here we go, Falcons. Falcons. They could have it. Only 2 elims up. Yeah, it doesn't seem like things are looking all too hopeful now for the side they are smashed. Same thing could be said here for the side of Clear Vision. As a one shot gets knocked the heck down. Now Vito, Focus, and Van Kid having to find a way to make up for a little bit of that lost ground, right? They're going to have to contest against the side of Falcons and Smash if they want to hold on to any kind of territory. Oh, Zuxi! You gotta watch out for them headshots. Meanwhile, it's gonna be Raad laying it on very, very thick. They've already found one knock and one confirmation. Smash though. Gonna be looking to hit it out of the park. They've got a nice position there up in the lumberyard. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Where's it gonna go though? Where's it gonna go? Will they maybe look for a little bit of that Wingardium Leviosa as they are holding on to the Wizard Tower? The Falcons, they could also just look to wing it. But will winging it result in them winning it? Hey, there we go. Ilias taking quite a bit of damage. Narrowly evading those trees. But as they push a little bit further down south, this could be pulling into quite a bit of a difficult situation. Seeing that we've got the players from RUKH as well as the Falcons waiting in the wing. Alpha gets confirmed. Raad, Soga continue with their play, looking to take apart the side here of Clear Vision. Let's see whether or not this is going to be on the cards for Zuxi. It's all the hopes and dreams for the team now relies on Zuxi. Vivo, ew, coming through with the info. Come on, Zuxi, come on, Zuxi. No! Focus! Ah! Bringing an end to them. Smash also going to be falling. Getting sent out with 5 eliminations up, though. See, here we go. The final few plays, right? 7 teams left. But who's going to be the one to lock it in? Clear Vision having a decent position up towards the northwestern side. Dalhop, a very quiet position. The most western player is going to be holding on to the edge. Falcons now going to be looking to just condense that 2-2 split. Maybe looking to extend their reach moving through the zone. So Superpower, Castle Black. 77k, so you can see right here on the edge. Looking for their approach. Want to get themselves back in towards that zone. RUKH, this is their moment to shine. Got a very controlling position up towards the north. Right, they got no one behind them. It's going to be all downhill from here for them. And this is exactly the kind of position they need to play off of. Let's see whether or not they can find it. Well, very effortless play there onto Focus as Clear Vision. Gets shipped out. 6 elims up though. RUKH now sitting on a very, very comfortable 15 eliminations. But where are they going to stop? Is that going to be the end? No, instead it is going to be Castle Black coming through on the southern edge. Rushing through onto Superpower. Alpha Logi. Oh, managing to drop, but down goes the hit. Oh, Castle Black. Getting picked up with a beautiful nade there from Berlin. Great response. As we make it down to our final 5. Team's not going to be giving this position up anytime soon, right? You want to talk about a contentious zone to play for? This is exactly that. Falcons are going to be swooping in from that southern edge. It's going to be Puncher King looking to get themselves pushed up in center zone. Rami, though, does get knocked on down. Up comes RUKH pushing in on 77k. Pusher, oh, with a foot shot. Drops the entirety of 77k. Wow! Now we are down to only 4 remaining teams. RUKH Esports sitting on 18 eliminations, the most we've seen to date. So I don't think it would be fair at this point for me to ask for predictions. But if you want, be sure to let me know who do you think is going to be taking it. RUKH, regardless of the outcome here, I think they're going to find themselves sitting at the top. Right. With 18 eliminations already to their name, no one can kick them out of the top of the board. At least not with regards to points. But this is not the point for them to get overconfident, right? Still got to play a very cautious game here, seeing that they have to now reposition down into that zone. Delhop going to be playing a little bit of hide and seek here. The blue zone is about to catch up to them, so they're going to find themselves sipping on some blue juice. Alright, Falcons actually holding on to zone. Right, we got Axa, Teak, Puncher King with a good spread. What works in favor of the Falcons here is going to be the hard cover that they are sitting on right now. Rami now going to try and play for precision. Oof. Yeah, you got to watch out for Bola and those nades. It could be quite devastating, but the reach, hey, there it is! Rami dealing with a beautiful play. Now it's up to Alfaluji and a white boy. Oh, but down goes Alfaluji. A full send coming in from RUKH. Oh, this could be the play. This could be the play. And indeed it is. RUKH locking in 4 more. 3 more, rather, as they go up onto 21 eliminations. You thought you've seen a fat chicken? This is the fattest chicken, potentially, if RUKH clutches this one out. Sitting with 21 eliminations. It'll be an utter injustice if they do not get this winner chicken dinner. Falcons coming through here with 2 eliminations to their name. Dalharp trying to ride the storm all the way into zone, but unfortunately, they're not going to be able to lock it in. Now it's going to be between the Falcons, who are finding themselves on a 3-piece, up against the full squad here of RUKH Esports. The Falcons, they have the zonal advantage, right? They have their position secured. RUKH yet to rotate forward. But is that going to be enough to bring a halt to the absolute rampage that RUKH Esports has been on for this match? Falcons now starting to place a few nades. Trying to pop a few smokes. Trying to defend against the advances coming through here from RUKH. But RUKH again, looking to show so much determination. They're not going to be folding just yet. They're not going to be field deterred, as they instead are going to be looking to push on forward. Partially because they don't have much of a choice, right? The blue zone is going to come nipping at their heels. Unfortunately, they've now been able to pull everybody into that zone just in the nick of time. The blue zone is going to be closing through. So let's see who's going to be the one to take it. Is it going to be the Falcons or is it going to be RUKH? RUKH now with 3 potential eliminations up for grabs. This could put them up on 24. For the Falcons, they could go as high as 7. But it is far from over. None of these teams are going to be looking to give up any position. But RUKH now finding themselves in a bit of a position where they can actually start to encircle the side here of Falcons. Cue the shark music. Dun dun. Dun dun. Alright, so now we're in the 9th phase. Got about 2.5 minutes left. That zone is going to end. Default with a nice opener. Ooh, down they go. It's going to be Teak and Axa looking to make a difference here. Now it's going to be Rami stepping up. Popping in behind the trees. Teak is down. This is now all reliant on Axa to see if they can clutch it out. A 1v3. Oh, they do find Eugene looking to alleviate a little of that pressure. That's going to be Pusha and Rami. looking to see if they can lock in these angles. AXA has not yet found themselves in such a difficult position for this entire season. Let's see if this is going to now come to pass. Oh! Alright, the nade coming in scary close to the side of RUKH. But there's only one player standing between RUKH and an absolutely insane winner chicken dinner. That is going to be AXA just up ahead. The spray is there. The plays are in. Oh! Pusher secures the finish, and that is RUKH Esports walking away with a very comfortable, slightly insane 24 elimination winner chicken dinner. RUKH Esports out for blood as they step in with 3,846 damage. Receiving, well, nearly 15 eliminations worth of damage. Absolutely insane performance there from RUKH Esports. I mean, but that is what we're here for. That is what we tune in for, right? We want to see these teams blow ducks out of the water. I mean, I think they even blew a few fishes out of the water because that was an absolutely insane performance coming through from RUKH Esports. But that is what we love, right? These teams just stepping up, cracking the lobby wide open. Essentially, they eliminated 6 teams worth of players, right? Out of the 16 teams, they got 6. So that left, what, 9 other teams to try and find a few eliminations across the board. So expect the points to look quite interesting once we eventually get over onto that. But of course, as we know, next up, we are going to be heading into those highlights to remind you of a few of the amazing, insane plays that we had come through. So let's take a look. Well, I think it is safe to say that RUKH Esports just blew that one out of left field, right? I see a few predictions coming in chat as to what that has meant for the leaderboard, and I can tell you you're all wrong. You're all wrong, because it's slightly different. It's slightly different. We'll get into exactly what the situation is in a very short moment. But first up, we need to take a look and see who our top performers were. Who were the players to secure the most insane damage, the most eliminations? I think it's going to be RUKH dominating it, right? Let's be honest, based on the performance that they just brought in. 24 eliminations. I mean, that is insane. They do sit on a grand total of 31 eliminations for the day. But in the meanwhile, let's take a look at the board here. It is going to be Eugene. Yep. Eugene coming through with the most eliminations, one of which has been a utility play. And of course, Default coming through with the longest distance traveled, as well as the highest amount of damage. And then, of course, we got Koa in there as well, right? So, yeah, very strong finish. 343 meter. It was not an easy run coming through for Blackhand in this past match. As we know, they were presented with quite a few difficulties, quite a few challenges pushing on through. Of course, only managing to get themselves 3 eliminations in this past match. Not exactly the kind of play that we were expecting to see come through from Hand. But that just speaks as to how difficult and challenging this last lobby was, right? Absolutely insane. But yeah, I mean, 45 points coming through for RUKH Esports for the day. 34 points just in this last match. That is insane to see. But of course, well, I think that is the biggest chicken that we've seen between Africa and Arabia so far. Right, to give you an idea as to how insane that is, 38-48 going 49, that's 46. Wow, I'll get the number eventually. As you can see, the performance coming through there from RUKH. I mean, GREEDYFORKILLS, Clear, Vision, as well as Smash Team and the Falcons. I mean, they all tried. But with RUKH coming in with such an overpowering performance, I mean, it's tough to say that anyone could in fact have been in a position to, you know, dethrone them. I mean, they were just on an absolute rampage. So for RUKH Esports, that is amazing, right? They also have 14 total placement points so far for the day, so things looking pretty good for them. But of course, well, it's about that time. Let's take a look at our match rankings, right? 34. No surprise on that end. It is going to be 10 points then getting distributed to the Falcons. 9 going to the side of Greedy. Clear only with 7. Of course, Blackhand only with 3 points. As, well, I said already, right? RUKH essentially taking down 6 teams. Insane stuff happening right here. But I mean, if this is just the first week, imagine what we are going to be having come through in those later weeks. In the meanwhile, Virtual Gaming Squad and Vampires finding themselves all the way down in that donut shop. Not a single point getting sent to them, as it's all been taken by RUKH. They took all the points available in this match, so a very hot and heated, very spicy performance come through. Curious to see if we're going to have the overall points now being displayed as well, because there's quite a bit that has happened on that leaderboard. But there's one major thing that we want to see, right? What kind of an impact did this performance from RUKH Esports now do to their points with regards to the overall standings? Because adding 34 points to the tally, that is just insane. A very healthy helping of points coming through. So Eugene and Default both finishing on those 7 eliminations on either side. But Default, though, has defaulted to Aggression, coming through with 13-21. Very sweaty play. Of course, Bushra managing to evade quite a few of the shots, as they were also then the one to lock in that final play to secure the winner chicken dinner. So very aggressive showing there from the side of RUKH Esports. But, well, the next thing that we need to look at is going to be those overall standings, right? We've just seen how impressive RUKH Esports can be when they decide to be. So let's see if we're going to have those points now popping up, because, yeah, the upsets are there, right? Falcons in an interesting position. I mean, for the day, they're sitting on the most placement points. 19 in total, right? 5 more than what RUKH Esports has to their name. But has that been enough to upset the overall standings, right? Of course, that is the question that we are going to be looking to have answered right here. As we know, also for a few teams, they've already played to the end of their day. So this is going to be the last opportunity now for our remaining teams. So this is going to be Group B stepping back out onto the battlefield to show us exactly what they can bring. And it doesn't seem like we are going to be looking at the overall points. It doesn't seem that way, so we very well might be looking at them once we head into the match. But what I can tell you is that RUKH Esports got a 4-slot jump. 4 slots as a result of this last match, right? So if you remember where they were, and you have any idea as to how that could calculate onto the board, yes, they brought in a 4-slot jump up the leaderboard. And as a result, Blackhand, Falcons, and Virtual Gaming got moved down 1 position each. Greedy also moving up 2 slots. So a very impressive play on their end as well. Clear Vision, they've also moved up 3. But speaking of moving up, right, we are going to be moving up into our last match of the day. And see whether or not they're going to display the results on the left-hand side of the screen. We'll find out very soon. As we are going to be looking at the flight path. Oh ho ho. Starting up in that lovely northwestern side. So Eugene, Fares, and Koa currently leading with regards to those elims. The most aggressive players that we have out on this battlefield. Fares, Axa, and Koa also looking pretty sweaty with the damage. But I guess I gotta say, I like the zone. But it does also then seem like Picardo could be a repeat of what we had in the previous match. I just want to see aggression, right? So all the battle and wave, you got to step it up. We want to see sweaty plays. I think it's also going to take some time until we find someone that can beat 7 Reef's hit. 504 meters. If you have any idea how far that is on PUBG Mobile, that is an absolute insane distance. I think render range stops at like, what, 400, 450, somewhere around about there. Well, in the meanwhile, we are going to be looking at a glorious zone set all the way up on towards the north. So RUKH, Black Hand, going to be sitting quite prettily right there. Already, we do have a little bit of interaction now up into Picardo. Wave already losing their first player. But here we go. Back to the same old, same old. Right, are they going to be looking to change it up? Will the battle and Wave? But you can see the results at the top of the screen as well. So that should also give you a bit of an answer as to the moves, as of the plays that have come through so far in this match. So we just are here chilling on some tunes. While we wait to see where the teams are going to be taking us. The name is the feature. Yes, Death Fury. Of course you meant future, as you've said there already. But feature also, it also helps quite a bit. There we go. Gaddafi, though, locks it in onto Krona. So it does seem like Wave and the World of Battle are going to be looking to change it up at least somewhat. Right, but we got to see some sense. We got to see the aggression. So looking at the performances that we've seen from Wave and the World of Battle so far in Miramar. Wave with only 4 eliminations to their name. Or the World of Battle, rather, with only 4 eliminations to their name. Wave, on the other hand, they sit with 7 and 1 placement point. So far, not exactly the most favorable play for either of them. But we're going to have to see that step up come through. That's going to be Black Hand. Presented with a bit of an opportunity here on RUKH. Oh, Eugene. Testing the waters. Right, looking to see if they can find a little bit of some over there. But here we go. Alright, RUKH, Hand. There we have it. Storm is the first one down. So KMA now going to be looking to just get a little bit of that ground recovered, right? Are going to be looking to find a bit of an angle to play for. Meanwhile, it is going to be the players here from XENON. Up in their usual spot. It's going to be El Pazo. The Falcons sharing the position here with them somewhat. But again, not an overly aggressive push coming through from the Falcons. They are essentially going to be locked in over towards the western side of zone. It does seem like XENON are going to be looking to... Hey, look at that! Oh, yeah, +18 trying to go for the roof. Unfortunately, it turns out they are roofless. Right, not going to be able to land that motorbike up on top just yet. The meanwhile is going to be Wave and Smash. Hey, Wave actually disengaging from Picardo, looking to change up the play. But now they find themselves venturing straight into a bit of an unfortunate play here. Knight could still look to find the angle. You can see the rest of Smash and also just rushing on forward as they do say goodbye to 7 Reef. I'm not quite sure what the play is here for Wave. I mean, they are definitely trying a few different things to see what is going to work for them moving through here. I mean, but looking at the current way that they are playing Miramar, it is quite surprising because last season, you know, things were quite different coming through from the Wave side. I mean, they had 2 winner chicken dinners to their name. This time around, it's like it's a different Wave team, right? Definitely trying to play a few different strategies here. In the meanwhile, oh, it's going to be Psych. Getting psyched out as they slide down the mountain. Senkei sending them a little bit further on down. But again, this doesn't exactly open up the opportunity now for Senkei. The Psych is now left without a vehicle and Senkei can't reach all the way down. There's not going to be many options now for Psych to get themselves out of this position. So maybe we could have a bit of a cheeky trade coming in on the side here. In the meanwhile, the zone is going to be popping. Ooh, look at that. Takes us all the way over on towards the western side. And this is now where things are going to really start to heat on up. Now in the past, we've seen zones that shift like this, right, in the previous season. If they stay up in Pozo, there's one team that is exceptionally proficient when it comes to Pozo. Right, the visitors, of course, to Pozo is going to be the players from the Falcons. So I'm curious to see how they are going to be looking to handle their business. In the meanwhile, it's going to be Greedy just rotating on through. Not even bringing any kind of change to the situation here between Smash and Wave. Oh, there we have it, though. Knight is down. Zizal, are they going to survive it, though? Yeah, going for the hit, but getting greedy. And that will cost them. But a Wave already sitting up on 5 eliminations. Quite a bit of a turnaround coming through from them, but they've also now been reduced down to 1 single player. Tio giving a shout out there to the Falcons. Let's see whether or not the Falcons can lock this one in. Still have quite a bit of ground to try and secure, especially looking at that El Pozo positioning. In the meanwhile, Greedy going to start to climb the hills as Delharp looks for the position, looks for the angle. NASA so much further behind them. Not quite sure if NASA is going to be able to make it all the way up into that zone securely. Ab Goldenel presented with a bit of an opportunity, as is the World of Battle. They can look to bring in a little bit of that gatekeeper, but it does seem like Virtual Gaming Squad are going to be beating everyone else to the punch, as they are going to be trying to have a bit of a swing at Arab Golden. Meanwhile, the pressure continues to build as +18 are experiencing a little bit of difficulty just on the outlying regions there, but there we go. Fares does find the spray onto Timon. That's going to be Lazy Boy pushed on high, looking to see if they can find Unab. Clear vision with a good setup there as well. Special going to be waiting in the wing. Alright, let's see what that zone is going to be doing. So Wave, Smash, Greedy. They're going to have a bit of a tough run. Getting themselves securely situated. You can see RUKH now also running into a little bit of difficulty towards the northern edge of zone. Ooh, those nades coming through from Mo Esports. Licio now with a beautiful angle. Oh, finding a little bit of magic. Now it's down to default. Oh, Monster Truck, why? Why such a big, easy target to hit? And that is now going to be the full force of Mo Esports letting loose. And up it goes in flames. Mo Esports, though, GG to them. Taking down the entirety there of RUKH Esports. Elicio with a full-on carry, with all 4 eliminations secured. Now we look on to the rest of the lobby to see what they are going to be bringing to the table, right? We still have to wait for Black Hand to come through with their own rotation. So I think they were essentially like 4 favorites moving into this match. Right. Black Hand, XENON, FALCONS, and then of course RUKH. But, as we know, one of those 4 has already made their way back into that lobby. Now let's look onto Superpower as they look to put their capes on. Looking to get a bit of a jump here onto Virtual Gaming. Oh, White Boy getting traded. Now Berlin in a position where they could definitely look to find the sprays. Virtual Gaming squad essentially down to 1. It's going to be Amjid now trying to close it up. Up comes the rest of the squad. Alpha Logi and Ko. Unap though with the finisher. And that is going to be it. White Boy, even though they're in the lobby, they do find themselves 2 eliminations. The World of Battle going to be finding themselves in a bit of a spot down south. Got +18 over to the east. A little bit of opposition coming through on, well, that's the western side. They got a little bit of opposition coming through on the eastern front. Also Black now going to be pushing in as well. Ooh, looking to find their next fortress. But not a bad spot to pull into. As you can still see a few outlying teams there. Going to be feeding that heat now, getting dialed up. Del Hop is going to be falling down. As GK is now reduced down to NASA. XENON looking pretty amazing up in Pozo. It feels so comfortable. Right, that is their home turf. Gaddafi going to be looking to make that play. Coming in. Oh, going out. Good night, Gaddafi. As Wave Esports leave with 5 eliminations to their name. We've now made it up into the final 12 surviving teams. Who's going to be the one to clutch it out here? XENON to some extent can partially just sit back, relax and enjoy the ride. As the rest of the lobby is yet to move on through. You got Black Hand moving in on the north, the World of Battle moving in on that southern edge, but the FALCONS just behind the World of Battle. Alright, so Castle Black, they've had their run. They've played their game, as has Arab Golden. Arab Golden, though, out they go. Only 3 elims to their name. Castle Black now down to 1 potentially. But they are going to get pushed on. Clear Vision also finding themselves in a very uncomfortable position. Oh, Broly with the strafe. Special now locked in on 6 FALCONS. being the clear predicted victors here. +18, finding a bit of a spray. Also Black still looking to find their feet. Meanwhile, we do say goodbye to Greedy for kills. Left longing for a few of those eliminations, right? As they only find themselves one. Now we are down to the final 9, right? We've hit those single digits. MEA Esports still all the way up towards the north. Meanwhile, it's going to be Special just inching their way on through, sitting with a very comfortable 6 eliminations up already. So currently, the leading aggressors out on this map. XENON, they've not found a single drop of damage. Well, eliminations rather. Falcons still going to be holding on to a bit of a spread. We got Teak and Puncher King. Now right there on the edge. They got G-Brute going through right alongside them. Tree is going to be Teak now to get traded on down. Ooh. Ooh. Quite a bit of a turning point. But not expecting too much carnage to come through here from Special. Seeing that Broly is only now getting ready to join the fray. Ramsey is going to be locking in that zone positioning. But is that going to be a quick pickup? Doesn't seem to be the case. So +18. Castle Black, Falcons still having to push up from that southern edge to get themselves resituated back in towards that zone. Falcons also having to cover quite a bit of ground though, so I'm curious to see how Psych and Axa are going to be looking to push through. Of course, meanwhile, the world of battle held up in Cigar. Just on the southern edge there of El Pozo. Shadoween is going to be looking to the sky for a little bit of hope. But meanwhile, Escanor does get knocked on down. So it's now up to Eflex and Shadowin. Koa does find the follow through onto Pedro. So Hand very, very close to MEA Esports up towards that northern side of zone. Meanwhile, the Falcons are going to be looking to play a bit of a flex here. +18. They're going to find themselves in a very sticky situation very, very soon. The Falcons back up to a full piece. Managing to bring in the required response. So Broly and G-Brute, it was a quick pickup. They got themselves secured and off they went. Shadowin now trying to make that last play, right? +18, hoping for a bit of change, but unfortunately, vehicle explosion is not going to bode very, very well for them. In the meanwhile, it is going to be Castle Black laying into the side of Special. Lighting the lobby up, at least on the edge. Falcon's going to be looking to do exactly the same. They're still keeping up quite a bit of a barrier here now for +18 to try and break through if they are going to be looking to get themselves secured. Now comes Teak, now comes Puncher King. This could be the play now from the Falcons to at least secure that southern edge. But the Falcons, very, very risky play. Going to be trying their luck. They've not yet committed to any particular position within that zone. Also Black, also playing a little bit of hide and seek. They've been quite active. Right, they've snuck in those 2 eliminations. But are we going to see that follow through come in from them now? Eflex on the edge. Ooh, going to be making a run for it. Got to watch out. They've been spotted. Puncher King. The opportunity is there. Brah, brah, brah. Down they go. And that is it. +18 now. Well, nowhere close to what their name suggests. Special still locked in close to center zone. XENON looking very comfortable. They have found that first elimination. Meanwhile, it's going to be Black Hand and Mo Esports up north. Falcons still trying to find the approach. They have been able to get access secured in that zone. Mo going to come rushing up on Black Hand. Let's see if it's going to be worth the effort. World of Battle actually looking to gatekeep the side of the Falcons. Ooh. Out comes the hit though. Oh, Keme is down. Mo Esports could be looking to play one major upset right here. Easy now, just trying to seal the fate. Of course, now Koa, the last one left to defend, at least on this initial front line. Black Hand down to 2, so it's going to be Koa and Mozaro. I don't exactly see them finding a bit of an opportunity on towards Keme. But again, both sides now just looking to find a bit of an opportunity. Koa looking to bounce back. Mazzaro coming through for the assist. That is 2 down already. Falcons lending quite a bit of a helping hand. Down goes Alicio. And it's now up to Pedro. Hey, Pedro. A 1v1. Koa v Pedro. Mazzaro is down, but not yet confirmed. Ooh, where's it gonna go? Superpower, in the meanwhile, will get sent out in 8th place. Going out, trying to find the angles here with the nade. Ooh, you gotta watch out for the DBS. Nice pre-fire. Koa clutches up and down goes Mo. Mo, though, out with 6 eliminations. So a very good performance coming through here for them. Falcons now going to be looking to extend their reach. Finding a bit of an opportunity here. They could find Koa. Koa now up to 600 damage already. Sitting on 645. Puncher King could have a nade. With Koa's name written all over it. Oh, come on. Come on, Puncher. So close. So close. You better get it before Koa gets that res. Oh, now it's going to be go time. The send is in, and there we have it. Falcons wiping down the side of Black Hand. So Falcons are already up to 8 eliminations. A very good run coming through on their end. But is it going to result in glory? In the meanwhile, we still have 5 other teams for them to contest against. XENON also going to be holding on with a beautiful full squad. 4 eliminations up, though. The World of Battle still sitting with 4 players. Special down to 2. Castle Black down to 1. Special now in a bit of trouble, as this could be that play to come through. In the meanwhile, Castle Black will get sent out in 5th place, managing to find themselves 2 eliminations. So we've got 3 squads. 3 full squads. Up against a duo coming through here from Special. Oh, but the World of Battle now going to be looking to make their move as they close in. Trying to get themselves secured in towards that southern edge of zone. So XENON on Overwatch are going to be looking to reach and find a bit of a spray, find a bit of a play. Let's see if the World of Battle will find their way up into that top 3. Of course, that is going to be quite reliant on what G-Brute and Broly are going to be bringing through. Very cautious play though coming through here from the World of Battle. This is the most aggressive we've seen them be in quite some time. Oh, but look at this! Broly fishing for those hits! Getting 3 spray downs right then and there. Now it's going to be up to Arthur to see if they can find a bit of a response. Very close to Broly. Unfortunately, Broly has that beautiful coverage to ensure their longevity, but now it's going to come to play. Oh, that molly. Oh, that molly. Very close, but it is going to be the end. As Psych plays the upset, and that is special out with 6 eliminations. Falcons now going to be taking the plunge as they push on forward, looking to see if they too can get the jump in on the World of Battle. As our final 3 teams will look to pick it up. Axo with a quick res coming through here from Psych. XENON still looking very, very confident. Locked in on that blue bottom. They're going to have to ensure that they've got a way to rotate out of that. In the meanwhile, Arthur getting right down to business. The World of Battle now going to be looking to battle the odds as Axel runs through the flames, hovering just above it. Almost like they were walking on water. But, well, you can't dodge the lead, right? Lead is much heavier than water as the sprays lock on in. Falcons, though, sitting with 9 eliminations up. Only 2 players on their feet. XENON still sitting with a full squad. It could still swing either which way. Cezorn is going to be closing on in to see exactly what this next shift will bring. And how these teams will have to get themselves positioned. If XENON finds themselves zone blessed yet again. Oh, that is going to be the play though. I mean, yes, it is 9th phase. But they've got the elevation, they've got the angles, they've got the numbers. Let's see if they can make those numbers work in their favor though. Going up against 2 duos. Right, so essentially it is like they're fighting one squad that is now split up. So World of Battle riding up the edge. Ooh. Come on. Come on. XENON going to be looking to see if they can push through with that last little bit of dominance. I mean, this is a very important play now for the World of Battle. So the higher they can place, the better it will be. We were waiting quite some time for World of Battle to step up to this level, but now it's going to be the end as they get sent on in 3rd place. 4 eliminations up. It's now down to XENON and Falcons. But the Falcons now holding on with a 2-piece. Oh, you got to watch out, Marshall. Oh, sliding down the edge. Taking quite a bit of a beating. Now it's going to be Teak, the final contender left to try and make a difference here from the Falcons' white side. It is going to be the full stand coming through. Carry Boy waiting on the edge. The jump shot is there and an effortless job being brought in. That is the end of the road. XENON securing themselves the victory. The winner chicken dinner. What a play indeed. It was about time for XENON to rise back on up. Coming through with 7 eliminations. Taking 1,442 damage out of the lobby. A very, very tough play coming through from their end. But again, exactly what we wanted to see come through. Also, you got to commend the efforts coming through there from the side of, well, the Falcons, right? They tried. They tried to hold on as best they could. But unfortunately, right, coming through with those reduced numbers, especially into these late stages, going up against a team like XENON, already very securely positioned there. It's tough. It is very, very tough. But in case you missed any of the amazing plays we had come through from this last match, of course, we are going to be taking a look at those highlights very, very shortly, just to showcase a few of the amazing plays that we had to show you exactly how these teams arrived at the points that we'll be taking a look at very, very shortly. But in the meanwhile, let's get right into those replays. Bam! And we're back again. So a very, very exciting day indeed. We've seen a lot of action unfolding out on the battlefield. Yeah, we are seeing a few people say bye. So we'll do this in the meanwhile. For those of you that are going to be looking to hang around, we are going to be heading into those points to see exactly where the teams find themselves. Of course, first look is going to be at our top performers. It is Teak then stealing the show there with the 5 eliminations and 746 damage. There's going to be Broly coming through with 2 eliminations from utilities. Then, of course, it is Psych locking in the longest hit, 416 tomorrow. 416 meter hit, though. It doesn't help if I look up and down all at the same time, right? But yeah, so we'll be back with the action. Day 3 coming through on Friday. Right, so day 1 and 2, then we've got a day break, then we've got 3 days, and we've got a day break, and then that is the rotation, right? So the first 2 days essentially not being done. So we're going to be back on Friday with more action. But in the meanwhile, we are going to be taking a look at these leaderboards. First up, it is right into the match leaderboard. Of course, XENON and Falcon White tying it up on 17 points apiece. Falcons, though, coming through with those 11 eliminations or illuminations, whatever it is that you want to call it, but a very exciting play from them regardless. And of course we see 12 points closing out there for Special Esports as well. And then as we head a little bit further on down, Wave Esports securing 5 eliminations. Definitely the most aggressive game that we've seen from Wave so far, which is a little bit surprising because you know, we were hoping to see a lot more of that come through. In the meanwhile, it's going to be Black Handles then getting shipped out with only 4 points, 2 of which has come through from eliminations. The other half then coming through from those lovely placement points. And then, of course, well, everybody gets points, right? Even +18, GREEDYFORKILLS, Smash Team, and RUKH. Each of them still managing to secure themselves a few eliminations. So very good to see the teams all finishing on points, closing off the day's proceedings. And that's essentially the kind of approach that we want to have from our teams, right? Keeping that consistency through as best they can all the way to the very end. Now, for a team like Falcons White, this was a very exciting day, finishing strong on 57 points for the day. Locking in the most placement points, the most eliminations, sitting on 32. RUKH Esports also then going through on 32. So it's a tie between the Falcons White team and RUKH Esports with regards to eliminations. Then, of course, Falcons, well, they do find more placement points, right? A grand total of 25, bring up to a total of 57 points. So an exciting one. RUKH, they are sitting on 46. So, yeah, the contention is definitely there. But you got to give it up to Special Esports, though. I mean, they've been playing quite a bit of an upset here today. They came in on 25 eliminations, 17 total placement points. And, of course, that awards them 42 points for the day. Now, speaking of points, we have to take a look at our PMGC points, right? Starting at the bottom of the board is going to be the Vampires coming in on 113.5. And, of course, Smash just up ahead of them. But we are going to be closing off the top, well, 14 there. 13, rather. Then we head into the next little section of it. We got XENON closing in on 583 points. MEA Esports on 224. So quite a bit of a gap between what Mo has and what XENON has. But we got to take a look at the top. It is going to be Falcons White. Sat on a very, very comfortable position. So this also gives you a pretty good idea as to what the tally is, right? Falcons White currently sitting on a lovely 88 pointers. Holding on to the lead. A 2-slot jump that they've brought in as a result of this last match, right? So a very strong finish coming through there from them. Those eliminations definitely going a very, very long way. And that's the bonus of it, right? The more aggressive you are, you have a bit of security then, you know, coming through, knowing that at least you have all of that stacking up, leading to even more points. But I'm curious to see whether or not they are going to be showing those leaderboards come through at all. But, I mean, we just saw it be shown right there on the PMGC points as well. So currently, Falcons White leading with the most placement points, sitting on 40. With those 48 eliminations that they've been able to find for a grand total of 88. RUKH Esports, though, the most aggressive team of the day. 57 eliminations for the entire phase, right? So just these past 2 days for a grand total of 79 points. We had Blackhand on 76 with a 2 winner chicken dinners. XENON making a 3-slot jump all the way up into 4th place. We had Special Esports also moving up 1 slot into 5th place. And then, of course, we did see GREEDYFORKILLS and Virtual Gaming Squad getting moved down into 6th and 7th place, respectively. Golden also with a beautiful 2-slot jump, moving up into 8th position. And that essentially closes up the top 8, right? We've got the players then from RUKH also sat on 40 points. And then we've got a tie between Clear Vision and Wave also then coming through on 39 points. So there's still quite a bit of contention. I mean, the gap between 1st and 8th place, even 9th place, currently is 48-point gap. So there's quite a bit to play for as the teams are going to be looking to continue with the action moving into our coming few days. So be sure to join us back on Friday as we continue with day number 3 for our first phase right here on PMPL Africa Fall 2023. Until then, stay fresh, stay frosty, and we'll see you all back again very, very soon.